And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We got a whole lot going on all over the mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, we still got ICE raids going on. People are still upset. They're still mad. They're still butthurt, but it's fine. Hey, check it out. You have nothing to worry about as long as you're not here illegally. If you're here illegally, your stuff's not in order, your paperwork not right, then, hey, I don't know what to tell you. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Birthright Citizenship, is that going to come to an end? Are we going to have any more anchor babies, whatever you want to call them? Is that going to be a thing? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the New York City Mayoral race. This dude, Zohran, boy, oh boy, a communist. If y'all elect this guy over Eric Adams, and by the way, I was the first conservative on the Eric Adams train last year, but I digress. If y'all vote for this dude, Zohran, y'all going to be in for hurting up there in New York City, the Big Apple. Ain't gonna be no more Big Apple. It's going to be the Rotten Apple. After he get through with y'all, he gonna turn your area which way but loose. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Alligator Alcatraz out there in the Florida Everglades. Hey, you want to be an illegal alien? Well, check it out. You might get sent out there to the middle of the Florida swamp. It's gonna be real hot. The mosquitoes are gonna be on you like white on rice. It's not gonna be a very good experience. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Man, we got a lot going on. This dude, Zorro, yeah, y'all call him Zotan, Zohran, Zanzibar, Zangi from Street Fighter. What somebody said, Zorro will provide a lot of content. Yes, he will. Oh yeah, I'm gonna follow that race a lot because it's already a lot coming out about this guy. This dude's an actor. It's all kind of stuff happening. He wants to give $65 million of taxpayer revenue from New York City residents to pay for transgender surgeries or treatments, whatever they want to call it, for children. It's bad enough you want to put taxpayer money toward what is it's cosmetic surgery, okay? If you get some kind of surgery or procedure or treatment because you think you are a different gender, it's cosmetic surgery. That's all. Okay, it's no different than somebody getting their chest done or a BBL or something like this. You got a BBL because something's wrong with your mind. You think a BBL will help you become somebody else. That right there is called mental illness. I don't know about y'all, but I don't think taxpayer money should go toward BBLs. I'm just saying, if you want to go do that, if you want to be on Frontier Airlines, sitting in the seat afterward like a hound dog on your all fours, facing the other direction because you can't sit on your hind parts. If you want to do that on your own dime, knock yourself out. You want to go to Dominican Republic, get them shots in your hind parts like Cardi B, looking wobbly. And by the way, I saw a BBL. I was in Atlanta the other night. I was out there and I saw one. Like, I see them all the time, but this one, it was like, y'all ever seen like Eggman from Mega Man? Now I gotta give you the actual demonstration. Hold on. And if you like what you're hearing so far, I know what to do. But yeah, this perfect. The first picture I found, look, all I did was Google Mega Man Eggman, and this is what came up. Hold on. The person looked like this. Just like that. I was like, what in the world's going on here? I mean, the person, they were cool or whatever, but yeah, just like this right here. I'm like, man, nah. So imagine your taxpayer money going to pay for something like that. Because somebody think they're transgender, say, you know what? I got to get this build. Look, I got a bowling ball in my midsection with some sticks up underneath it and then a big mustache on top. Yeah, I'm going to need some money for that from the taxpayer. If you want to do that to your own body on your own dime, it's totally fine. It's fine. I have no problem. Do whatever you want to do to yourself. But why I got to pay for it? I don't really get it. So yeah, New York City residents, that could be you paying for nonsense like that if you elect Zohran to office in November. Now, I told y'all last year that Eric Adams was going to be the best pick because I understand New York. I understand you're not going to be able to get a Donald Trump clone in New York City. I understand that. I'm not a naive person. I know how many liberal people exist. I know it's not, the Giuliani days. I know that's not going on. So you need to get a moderate Democrat in there. Is Eric Adams perfect? No, he's not. But tell me who will be better than him that has a chance of winning. Cuomo? Cuomo ran as a Democrat this time in the primary and got stomped out by Zohran. So if Cuomo cannot defeat Zohran in the primary, how would he defeat him in the general when he did not get the nomination, when he did not win the primary? It didn't make any sense. It'd be between Zanzibar and Eric Adams. Now, Curtis Silva from Guardian Angels is a Republican, but unfortunately, Republicans in 2025 have zero chance in New York City. It is what it is. It's like California. Okay, we who are conservative are like, why are they picking this guy? But in a place like California, unfortunately, there's many more of them who want a Gavin Newsom than there are of us who don't want him. That's just the reality. And California, I talk a lot about California. I talk a lot of garbage. I kind of like joking you guys a lot out there in California. But the truth is the state is beautiful. I'm going to always say that. Throughout everything, throughout all my joking about the California virus, the California liberals I hate, the California just, sickness spreading all over the country. I got a fly right here. Can I get it? Hopefully I did. Now I got to, hold on. Now, wait a minute. Wait. So now I got to kind of go back to this. Hold on. See, look, I'm out here trying to kill flies in real time. Let me adjust my camera. Hopefully that'll work. Yeah, we good now. And the fly probably didn't even die. So yeah, RIP to the fly if he died. If not, hey man, I'm gonna come to get you. But anyway, I totally forgot my train of thought. But the point is, California is a beautiful place. It's just people that run it, the liberals there, they are the problem. They're the issue. And I'm always say that. When I go down the beach, when I was out there, I loved the beach. It was beautiful. It was great. But some of the people, I didn't really like too much. And y'all dogs, man. Some of y'all dogs. Hey, y'all dogs, man. Look, a pooper scooper. Do we still have those in 2025? I don't understand, because some of y'all walk your dogs right on the boardwalk of the beach and let them just drop whatever you want to drop right there on the ground. Y'all pretty much leave it like you don't even see it. It's like, all right, we just gonna leave it right there. Okay, that's fine. Beautiful place, beautiful, naturally beautiful environment filled with some beautiful people and some not so beautiful. And when I say beautiful people, I mean on the inside. On the inside, because you got some that are beautiful on the outside, but very ugly on the inside. And that ain't what I want. So yeah, shout out to you guys out there in California. Shout out to you guys out there in New York. You got some really good people, but unfortunately, your leadership is not the best. And I hope you guys can ward off this Zohran, whatever his name is. Hopefully you guys can ward him off in November if you're up there in New York City. But I'm going to get more into that a little bit later. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I do need a fly swatter, a fly zapper. Yeah, I need one of them in here for sure. I had a thing right here, and you might hear it occasionally just. But I don't really get no bugs in here or nothing like that. I don't get no roaches, nothing like that coming from the outside. I don't really get that many spiders, but spiders are more common around here. You'll see spiders. I've seen black widows. I saw a black widow in my garage one time. I saw a black widow like outside of my garage door, and then I saw one inside. Have I seen a brown recluse? I don't think I've seen a brown recluse, but I've seen them wolf spiders. Those are beautiful spiders. Beautiful spiders. I hate to kill them. You see them as like, I can't even describe it. They're really nice when you look at them. I hate to kill it, but it's like, bro, okay, if you cross a little threshold at my house, Hey man, you get in the Nike slide straight to the top of your top. It's going to be a sandwich on the ground between you and the LVT and a spider in the middle. That's what it's going to be. But anyway, we get spiders, but not too many flying insects inside. Yeah, we don't really get too much of that. So yeah, get the electric one. That's probably what I'll do. That's what I'm thinking about. Super Calo 2000. Get the electric. Yeah, get that one that you might see on TikTok or something like that. Yeah. I might need to get one of them. You seen the brown recluse in Vegas? See, that's what I'm talking about. You're saying, hey, ABL, go to Vegas, but then now I'm gonna have a brown recluse in my hotel room. I don't want that. So yeah. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. Hold on. Danny says, when I see spiders, I usually just scream and run away. I understand. I get it. AR Hoffmeister, you love wolf spiders as well? See, look, we on the same page. Shout out to the wolf spiders. Beautiful creatures, but you can't be in my house, though. You know, if they live in, I might just kind of scoot them out and let them just go on their way. But, you know, they might come in. I'll tell you one time, though. I think it might have been the wolf spider, and it was kind of crawling around aggressively. Like, okay, now I got to kill it because you're in my house. It's kind of aggressive. So I go for the Nike slide, and then as I am squashing it, it explodes, meaning it had babies on the back. I didn't quite see that at first. It looked a little bit aggressive. I'm like, okay, what's going on? Because normally when I see a wolf spider, it's kind of chilling. Like, what's going on? I got a little bit of coffee. I'm just, minding my business. But this time it was aggressive. But when I hit it, it scattered. So hopefully none of them babies had matured and got a revenge plot against me. But yeah, it had to have been 30 babies just everywhere. Nightmare fuel. I had it happen right in my house. Yeah, that was a mess. But yeah, shout out to the bull spider. Anyway, I'll move on from that. We got quite a bit to get into. We got the Birthright Citizenship. We got some news from Trump. We got a few things going on here. We got the whole New York City situation with Zohran, and just the condition of New York. We're going to get into that as well. But shout out to you guys again. I appreciate y'all for joining. Before we get into those topics, y'all know how I do in the very beginning. Shout out to all my sponsors. You guys, of course, are the first sponsor for watching my videos, keeping up with me, keeping subscribed to all my platforms. You guys are the first sponsor, but also shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information anywhere on these interwebs. Their link will always be in the box. Or you could go to patriotpost.us in your browser and tell them that ABL sent you. I told me this time, okay, I got you. Don't worry about it. But also, go to the merch website, ablmerch.com. That is ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, please go to the regular website, anthonyblogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. You'll be able to find articles for each video that I produce. And on each article, you'll be able to find sources from the left, from the right, from the center, from the Democratic, Republican, politically agnostic, local, national, international, whatever you want. I got it right there on the front page of the website, anthonyblogan.com. Also, please go to the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. There, be able to find my email address, my email address, my UPS box, of course, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, never going to call it X, TikTok. All those links are right there on the contact page of the website, anthonyblogan.com/contact-us. And as I always say, if you're ever getting an email or a YouTube comment or Instagram DM from someone who says they're me, or they may have my name, or they may look like me, talking about I'm ABL, send me your information. Please don't do it. You're going to get scammed. I got a quick story about scamming. So I almost got. They almost got me. Usually when I get emails, I could tell, like, I ain't going to say, I put it to you this way. I get a lot of email on my contact at anthonyblogan.com. Again, if you guys don't know the email, it's on the website, on the contact page, but it's contact at anthonyblogan.com. If you get an email from someone and it's not that email, it's not me. And I'm never going to just email you randomly talking about get rich quick. Anyway, even if the email looks to be mine, it's not me. But anyway, I get a lot of junk on the email and I ignore a lot of the junk. If you guys send me tips, I kind of understand it's a tip. I can just read it and see what's going on. But a lot of it is junk talking about sign up for this, sign up for that. We'll give you X amount of money. We're going to help you get exposure, all kind of BS I filter out every day. But one of them kind of got me. They were like, hey, we're from the Katie Couric podcast, and we're going to give you X amount of money to come on to do like a Facebook podcast, like a live stream. Now, the process they wanted to do was similar to what I done with other people, and it was legitimate. But it was not legitimate at a certain point. What they wanted to do was schedule me to come on to do her show next week, but they wanted to do like a pre-interview first. I've done that before, pre-interview before the show, and it was fine. I've done that quite a few times, different people. So I'm going into, okay, let's what's going on? Back in my mind, I'm thinking this could be a scam because the email, I'm like, it's a Gmail account they're calling from, not at.com. Automatically, I got my antennas up, so I'm on defense. I'm not going to let them get any kind of information they can use against me, but it might be legitimate. So I do the little test stream, but I'm downstairs at first on my phone. I'm not up here. I'm on my phone doing the Zoom call. And they're like, hey, can we go upstairs? And like, nah, they were saying, are you going to be recording on this when we do the podcast? I'm like, nah, I'm going to do my studio upstairs. They were like, okay, can we see that? I'm like, okay, no problem. Red flag right there. Why we can't just do it right here? But I'm thinking you might just want to get the audio visual check. Okay, cool. Boom. I come upstairs to this setup right here, and I resume the Zoom call that I was on with the guy. Also red flag, I'm hearing Indian accent. Okay, Katie Couric, you got someone doing your, someone organizing your guests, somebody recruiting your guests, and it's like Indian call center. Okay, the dude talking about, so my name is Bob, but your name is really Rajit or something. But anyway, 2 red flags automatically. A Gmail account, Indian accent. The camera wasn't on his side. I'm like, let's just go through with it. So we get to the desktop, and he's like, hey, can you share your screen? I did share it, but I didn't share anything that would be of any kind of consequence. He was telling me all kind of weird stuff. Okay, add another email address, add your own email address on the Facebook authorized users list, and we're going to email that address in order for you to get a live link to come onto the show on Tuesday. I'm like, that don't make no sense. Why do I need to get another email on the list when I already got an email? You already emailed me at the email that it is. So what's all this? What he was trying to do was have me share my screen, and then once I added my email on there to the authorized Facebook users list, I would get a token from my email and then type it out while he's still watching on the screen. So you would have the email address I would use, the new email. He would have the token that I produced when I added it, and he wanted a link. He wanted to see a link from the invitation copied on the screen, but he didn't get any of that. And then he kind of ended the call abruptly. So moral of the story is that one almost got me, but automatically I was ready. I was prepared. Sharing the screen, Indian accent, not showing your face on camera. And then I began to listen like, okay, am I hearing office noises? Am I hearing other guys in the background doing the same thing? Because a lot of times we get these scams from India, especially, they'll be in the really big office building with other guys doing the exact same thing, scamming people. So you're going to hear your scammer, and then you're going to hear the other one in the background and more in the background doing the exact same thing to other people. Okay. He wasn't at his house. He was probably in the office. So yeah, that's my scammer story right there. Please be careful out there because they will get you. And I guess the objective was to try to steal my Facebook page. Good try. Nice try. Nice try. But no cigar. Yeah, that ain't going to happen. That is not going to happen. Did I hear the beep? No, I didn't hear no beep or nothing like that. Yeah, exactly, Tony. The Indian accent did give away. And it wasn't even like one that was it wasn't one that was clear. It was like Apu, Simpsons. I can't even really do it. Hello, come again. It was like that a little bit. And you know when you on the phone with him, tech support. Hello, can I help you? How was your name? What is your name? Your name is Mr. Logan. Okay, Mr. Logan, we're going to help you today with your computer. Can you please restart and unplug and up? I'm like, what? Sir, can we not talk in like broken syllables? Can you complete a full one and not join them together? I don't understand what's going on. Maybe if I spoke your language, it'd make more sense. But you don't speak no English. I don't know what's going on. When I heard that, I'm like, yeah, right away, it was a scammer. So yeah, they didn't get me. They sure didn't. And 9 times out of 10, when I get an email like that, I already know what time it is. But that one, I was kind of curious. But yeah, it didn't work. You know him, Sadie? Do you know him? I'm sure we all know him. But yeah, shout out to the Indians, though. Don't nobody get offended. I know somebody watching. I'm offended today. I do not like ABL. I'm offended. I was like, who you going to call? Don't call me because I can't understand you no way. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, they didn't get nothing in KM. They didn't get nothing because I already know what they wanted. I know what they wanted. I did some research on it. I know exactly what they wanted. They didn't get it. They sure didn't. They sure did not. Nope. And I got a lot of security on the back end, so nah. They're not going to do that. And if it was something that they got, they would have already had it by now. But by now, nah. My account is very secure, so they can't really do nothing. And the way that he kept telling me like to do the same thing over and over, and I wasn't sharing my screen. Once he saw I wasn't sharing my screen, he pretty much ended the call. All right. But yeah, shout out to my man, whoever you are. It didn't work, bro. Go back to, trying to get these other people. Actually, don't get them. Don't get nobody. Just go and shut your operation down. Shut all them office buildings down and don't scare nobody else no more. But look, we got some videos I want to show. New York, listen, I love beaches. Whenever I go travel somewhere, if I can get to a beach, I'm with it. Let's go. Okay, I go back to Virginia. I go straight down the beach, Virginia Beach. Straight down the beach, straight down 264, 21st Street, right there. Tourist spot, whatever, straight to the beach. Miami, Florida, I'm going straight to the beach. I'm going to stay in Brickell, and then I'm going to go down South Beach behind a restaurant or somewhere and be chilling on the beach where it's not a lot of tourist people at. So Miami Beach, Virginia Beach, LA went down to the beach. That was nice. Now, New York, you guys have a beach as well. What's that? Is it Coney Island? Now, look, I don't know too much about New York. Y'all let me know. Is Coney Island a good beach? I've heard things about Coney Island. They say it's dirty, or some say that it's actually okay. They had a good time. I tell you what, though, when I go to a beach, one of the main things I look for is cleanliness. Y'all were telling me to go to Venice Beach. Man, look, I done seen a 1,000,000,001 videos since I done came back from LA about Venice and how dirty it is. And the dirt comes from the homeless people that live right there. They just on the ground chilling. I saw one video where the guy was offering monies to get the homeless guy up off of the ground. I might play that in a minute. But they were offering one-way plane tickets up out of Venice Beach to go back to free out of Washington, to go back east, wherever they came from. Because the homeless problem is so bad. And when you have a homeless problem on the beach, you're going to have dirt, debris, needles in the sand, broken stuff in the sand. This is not Venice, but it might as well be. This is what I imagine Venice to look like, hearing all these stories about the dirt and the homeless. Check this out. Again, this is going to be Coney Island, New York City.
Why am I so Dutchy?
Now look, let's pause for a minute. We got glass bottles. It's so much going on. Glass bottles on the beach. If I see that right there, I'm not gonna. They're out there with bare feet. No way. No way. You're gonna have all kind of stuff just right up under the sand surface that you don't want to have on your body at all. You got glass bottles that's gonna break. You have a big trash bag, not even an actual trash can, a trash bag that's overflowing with trash right around it, right on the beach, right at the point where you can tell that waves will break right there. So that's right at the water, which means the trash right there also winds up in the water. So if you want to get in the water, you want to go swim, you want to do anything, you're going to have all that contaminant all on your body. That's why I tell y'all, I don't get in the water at the beach. I wouldn't even go here, period, at all. I wouldn't even go there. You couldn't pay me to step foot anywhere near there. If I go down to this beach, put me in a hazmat suit, a full hazmat with rubber boots that's like 15 inches high. Okay, because this right here, I can't do nothing with. Give me a clean beach. That right there is crazy.
What is this?
And look, hold on. Right here in the beginning, what is that? Is that toilet paper? Like, what is this right here? And you could tell, look, you could tell that the waves will break right there. That's where the waves break and come on the beach. That's New York City, Coney Island, I suppose, right? I'm gonna ask y'all a question, and y'all be honest now. I don't want nobody to be lying because you might look bad if you tell the truth. Do y'all go down to that beach if you're living in New York? Do y'all enjoy it? Did you have a good time? Y'all let me know. I could never. That's what I think Venice Beach looked like because of all the stories I done heard. If I see that, man, I'm going the other direction. And the smell got to be crucial. Oh my goodness, the smell. Because you already got salt water and sand. That already has a certain kind of smell depending upon where you at. But then once you have all the New York stuff going on, you got the trash is right there. And you got stuff. People just having a little party and they got all kind of stuff right there. Everybody's different body odor coming into play. I'm good. Don't worry about it. So you guys say, nope, no way, horrible. Okay, a dead body buried in the sand, all of that. Robert says, Venice Beach, the beach part I've seen years ago, but the boardwalk area is shady. Hawaii has amazing beaches. California, I'm pretty sure, has great ones. Santa Monica, you mentioned San Diego. I mean, Manhattan Beach was good. I enjoyed Manhattan Beach. Yeah, but I ain't go to Venice. I did not go to Venice, but Manhattan Beach was nice. I enjoyed it. Very, very nice. South Beach, Miami in general, Miami Beach, South Beach, all of that is nice, especially if you're able to get away from the tourists. Virginia, the same way. Once you get away from the tourists, it's perfect. Even in the tourist spots, it's okay. But the best is going to be when you're like at a private beach or at least in a least traveled spot that's kept up pretty nice by their local people, whoever they got out there being able to do it. Hold on. Karen says ABL Trout, Siesta Beach in Sarasota, Florida. They have the most beautiful sand, clean and white, no garbage. Hey, I'm about to do that for sure. White sand. Let's get it. Let's go ahead and get into it. That's what I'm into. Now, this lady right here, I don't know. I'm a neat freak. I'm a clean person. Yes, I am. If y'all see me on Instagram Live, you can see my kitchen and it's always spotless. I'm a neat person. I don't like going to a dirty beach. I don't like going to a ghetto area. I don't like dirty things. But I'm not that bad. I'm not going to be going outside with a mask on because I'm scared of germs. I ain't going to do that. I'm not going to live in a bubble. I'm not going to do that at all. Okay, I'm not one of these guys that go to the restaurant and get hot water to dip my silverware in. That ain't gonna make no difference. You're not really gonna do anything by doing that. But anyway, I'm not as bad as some people who say, hey, if your function isn't COVID mindful, then I'm not going. But a young lady right here, she has a little song about that. Okay, and I want you guys to hear it. Let's check it out.
I can't go to your event, 'cause it isn't COVID conscious. And I cannot pay my rent, 'cause so few jobs are COVID conscious. I can't go to your event, 'cause it isn't COVID conscious. And I cannot pay my rent, 'cause so few jobs are COVID conscious.
All right, there we go. So shout out to her. Hey, that right there might get you a Grammy in 2025. Hey, don't let the music industry get their hands on you. They're going to get a Grammy. They're going to put you on stage. It's going to be a whole big thing. But check it out, though. COVID conscious, I think the majority of us in the US of A are over this whole COVID thing. What is COVID-19? The flu, a head cold? You might get the sniffles for a minute, or it could be severe, like the regular flu. The flu is common. People get it. It's not really a big deal. Although some may not survive the flu, that does not mean that you got to just walk around with the big, crazy contraption on your face everywhere you go because you're scared of the flu. COVID-19 ain't nothing but the flu. So I'm not going to put my life on hold or stop doing things because of the flu or the common cold. I think it's the same thing. If you ask me, and they tell you really, corona, head cold, common cold, head cold, flu, head cold, they tell you that it's just different strains of the same thing. A respiratory illness, that's it. Coughing and sneezing, and if you have a compromised immune system, you might be a little bit older, you might be 1,000 pounds, you may have complications because of this respiratory illness. And you know what? Since it affects your respiratory, if you have a hard time being able to breathe because you're 1 million pounds, clearly that's going to affect you worse than it would affect others. And they told you with COVID-19, comorbidities, diabetes. Okay, but not, it ain't the diabetes. It's just that you weigh 1.5 million pounds. That's all. Or you might just be elderly. And if you're elderly, you're going to be susceptible to any kind of virus like that anyway because of your age. It doesn't really matter what it is. But yeah, shout out to her. I appreciate the song for sure. I really do. Now, my man right here has a question. He has a question, and I'm going to answer his question. But first, I want you guys to hear it straight from him. I don't want to put words in his mouth or misquote him. So shout out to bro. Let's see what he has to say.
Genuinely curious, are you celebrating July 4th this year? And if your answer is yes, my question is, why? There's nothing to celebrate this July 4th. Independence Day, the day we left the Kingdom of England and decided to become a democracy, it's gone. It's over. There's no reason. Independence Day is no longer a holiday to celebrate. If anything, it should be a day of mourning. Honestly, if you go out and I know these fucking MAGA losers are going to be out there like, oh yeah, 4th of July, USA, woo, and have no clue what Independence Day is even about. No clue. I hate all of you.
Okay, that's enough of that. That's enough of that. You about to start cussing and whatnot. But the question he had was, are you guys going to celebrate 4th of July? Absolutely. Absolutely. Why would 4th of July, Independence Day, why would that be a bad thing? Why? Because guess what, though, bro? Guess what? I don't know where you're from. Hopefully you're an American just like me, and we're on the same page. But we live in the best country on planet Earth. Why wouldn't you want to celebrate that? Why wouldn't you want to celebrate being part of the best country in the world? Why wouldn't you be for that? Are you not patriotic? If you're not patriotic, then okay. This ain't North Korea, bro. You're free to leave whenever you like. This is not North Korea. Go to wherever you want. Be the passport, bro, and hit the bricks. You can go Thailand, somewhere like that, if you got some money. And if you don't, well, I mean, whose fault is that? It's not my fault. I don't know what's going on with your life, bro. At the end of the day, yes, I will celebrate it for sure. I'm going to find some good fireworks, some good food, I'm gonna enjoy it. Hey man, I might paint my whole face red, white, and blue just on GP. Why not? I'm an American. I celebrate America every day. You see my background here. That ain't for no reason. My hat, it ain't for no reason. I enjoy being an American. I appreciate being an American, and no one can take that from me. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question, boss. But how about you guys? Are you guys going to celebrate? You got anything going on? It's on a Friday. So that's perfect. And that'll be coming up. That's this coming Friday. So yeah, absolutely. Richard says, you want to celebrate any holidays? Hey man, I can respect that. I can respect that. I don't think you're coming from a place of being anti-American. You're just not really a holiday person. That's fine. But me, I don't celebrate all holidays, but that one, yeah, 100%. Absolutely. I enjoy 4th of July. And I always did, even as a kid, man, like all throughout my whole life, there's always some kind of something going on. The fireworks being the main thing. Some kind of food festivity, something like that. It's always something happening. When I was younger, I used to go down to the beach in Virginia on the 4th. Now that was an experience. That was an experience. You had some hooligans out there, but I was always being a good church boy, so I didn't get involved in the hooligan activity. I wasn't involved with that at all. I was just out there just having a good old time on the beach, chilling. Now, shout out to him, though. Are you guys going to celebrate? Hopefully you guys do. Now, we got some people that are not necessarily big fans of America right here. Out here, what's this? San Francisco. It might be a little bit of cussing. We got some transformers and activists and whatnot protesting who knows what. It's always a new thing. What are we going to protest today? Is it going to be we hate America? Is it going to be we want to be a transformer? Whatever it is, the violence, the hatred, the vitriol, it always comes from them. Always. And then they say that we are the bad ones, that we are the ones that don't have it together. Let's watch some of this, shall we?
You don't. Get the fuck out now. I'm not. Get the fuck out. Holy crap. Get this on camera.
Do you believe that it's safe for children to be in these types of areas where naked people are around?
Yeah, totally. Because this nudity is not sexual. Can you please leave?
I was just trying to ask questions.
I don't give a fuck what you're trying to do.
I just simply don't
I'm sorry for the cussing, but you know how they are. They cannot speak without cursing.
care about your content.
I don't give a fuck what you're trying to do. You could keep trying to farm content, yo. But this is the thing, y'all are fucking losers. Y'all are losers, and the whole fucking world is seeing this.
I was just trying to ask questions.
Get out.
Yo, 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 yo.
Get out.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Holy crap. What? Whoa. You gotta go. I don't have to go anywhere.
Now look, let me just say this. If I'm somewhere and I'm protesting, marching, whatever I'm doing, and somebody asks me a question, I cannot wait to stop and talk to you. I cannot wait to stop and talk to you. Oh yeah, interview me, ask me a question. Hey, Mr. Conservative, how does it feel to be Uncle Tom? I'll give you a great answer. I'll give you some great content. I sure will. I sure will. I don't care if I'm a YouTuber or not. Even when I was a nobody on the internet, I would still stop and talk to you. I do that all the time. Anyway, when the camera not rolling, I don't care. I met somebody at an event and no cameras rolling. I spoke to them for about a good half hour. Now, I probably can't do that too much anymore because it's kind of busy. But I will talk you to death if you let me. I'm not going to engage in no violence like this because there's an aggressive question. But they always do that, and then they say it's us that are the ones who are engaging in the violence. So yeah, and they go California again. Listen, California, I love you guys who are out there who are great. I love the beauty of your state, but you got a lot of these individuals who want to engage in violence, who want to engage in the nonsense, assaulting people, things of this nature. And then they have their events, the LGBTQ element of P, X, Y, and Z, where you got grown men wearing dresses, high heels, makeup, okay, showing their chicken berries out in the general public. Little kids can see it and everything. Disgusting behavior. But yeah, shout out Turner Point USA. Shout out Frontlines. Shout out to my man right here. I don't know his name, but shout out to him. And of course, their best reporter is Savannah Hernandez. So shout out to her. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. Now, where do I want to go next? Oh, yeah, this one. Now, there's a Title IX problem, and we all know about it because you got all these boys who are competing against girls in girl sports, men competing against women in women's sports. Now, look at this dude right here. Okay, I'm not a really big baseball fan, but I know a little bit about baseball. A little bit about baseball I know. I know that if you have a male pitcher up against women, he'll dominate. Especially guys looking like Randy Johnson. you got Greg Maddux, Randy Johnson, one of these dudes, okay? Pedro Martinez, look, you got one of these 1992 white male from California or Kentucky who's like 6'11". You got one of these guys pitching against girls. How do you think that's going to end? Can you see some of this? Let's watch some highlights of this man competing against girls.
Meet Marissa Rothenberger, a male pitcher absolutely dominating girls softball in Champlin, Minnesota.
And the pitch. Rothenberger back in the fifth. Swing and a miss here first. 0-2 pitch. Strike three.
Rothenberger, at 6 feet tall, appears to tower over his female competition. In this game on May 6, 2025, he threw 7 strikeouts and shut out the opposing team. Apparently, Rothenberger's batting against average is .128, meaning opposing girl players only hit 12% of his pitches, which is considerably better than elite MLB players. He recently had an absurd 14 strikeouts in a single game. What was really amazing was listening to the dense male announcers as they gush about Rothenberger's wingspan and how hard he throws it.
See how she whips it? The long arms is just such an advantage. Wow. The whip action of that long arm for Rothenberger.
Yeah, but of course you got a long arm. You a 6 foot tall boy. Yeah, you're gonna have long arms compared to the girls. These girls like 5'3" at best, and you 6 foot tall, looking like you play basketball for a living. What is this? Get a girl in there who's big like that rather than Randy Johnson.
He's a boy, guys. Get it? He's male. And it's cheating. Stop gushing. The male coach who coaches Rothenberger was gushing too.
Our pitchers do a phenomenal job. We have Marissa Rothenberger. They keep us in every game.
What's not to like about having a male ringer on the team? Except it's cheating, of course. Rothenberger is apparently hoping to get recruited onto a women's softball team in college somewhere, and I found his profile on recruiting sites. But hopefully this helps expose the cheater before he can cheat any more girls out of their opportunities, scholarships, and victories.
Out of this world. 18 years old, high school, graduating next year. And my question is, are you going to be able to go to college like that? Are you going to be able to pitch collegiate softball like that as a man? Look, if I had a girl in sports, if I had a daughter in sports right now, and that was going on, you would see me every day. Every day. I'd be like a ghost hunting you every single day. Okay, and you're going to know my presence. It ain't going to be no mistake that I'm right there. That is unfair. What do y'all think? Is it okay to have a 6 foot tall, 18-year-old man competing against these girls that's like 15, 5'3", and it will never beat his size, never will have his wingspan, never will have his strength? Upper body strength is what men are better at. Women are better at lower body because they got to have babies and be pregnant. So they got to be able to carry the baby. They got to have a wider hip base to be able to support a baby for 9 months. So they're better at lower body. Men are better upper body because we're supposed to work and defend. We're better up here. So if you got a boy pitching against women, they have no chance. They're going to be at an automatic disadvantage. So yeah, 100% unfair. Absolutely. I don't even understand how this got so widespread. I feel like at one point it was a joke. It was a meme. And if people were talking about it, it's like, man, you overreacting. That ain't never going to happen. But here we are talking about it every day. I could bring up stories every single day of that kind of thing happening. And it's like kind of normal, I suppose. Now, speaking about things that are kind of normal, but they should not be, Zohran Mamdani, the mayor, well, not the mayor. I don't want to, I rebuke that. But this guy is trying to become the mayor of New York City. He secured the nomination in the Democratic Party after defeating, Andrew Cuomo in the primary. So he is Democratic Party nominee. I think Cuomo's still going to be on the ticket some kind of way. You still be able to vote for him. I'm not sure how, but on the ballot, not the ticket, on the ballot. And the other candidates, of course, Eric Adams is an independent now, so he'll be on the ballot, and Curtis Silver is a Republican on the ballot. But, most people in New York City, they're going to vote Democrat and not think about it. So Zohran's in the driver's seat to succeed. Now, he has some crazy plans he wants to implement. I'm going to show some other things that I've seen since I last spoke about him on the other stream.
And I know.
So let's watch this right quick. Hold on. What's this? Okay, he wants to increase funding by 800% for hate crime prevention. Okay, hate crime prevention. Now, my question is, how will the increased spending in hate crime prevention prevent them cat-sized rats from invading people's apartments in the Bronx and stuff like this?
And I know that Jewish New Yorkers, like Jewish Americans, are fearful in this moment of anti-Semitism. They're fearful, especially after the horrific attacks that we saw in Washington, D.C. and in Boulder, Colorado. And they're fearful also in conversations that I have heard myself about life in this city. I spoke to a Jewish man in Williamsburg not too many weeks ago who told me about the fact that he now locks the door that he used to close, that he used to keep open for years because of a fear of who may come in. I spoke to a friend of mine after October 7th who told me about going to his synagogue for Shabbat services and hearing the door open behind him and turning around with a tremor going up his back, not knowing who was walking in and what they wished for them. And ultimately, it's through the conversations I've had with Jewish New Yorkers that I have developed a proposal for the Department of Community Safety that would include an 800% increase in funding for hate crime prevention programs. Because ultimately, we cannot simply say that anti-Semitism has no home in this city or no place in this country. We have to do more than talk about it. We have to tackle it. And that's what we will do through this funding and through this commitment. We will root out bigotry across the 5 boroughs.
My question is, okay, you want to prevent hate crimes from happening. How you do that? Like, what would the money actually go to? To me, all I hear is a scam. Okay, we're going to do hate crime prevention. What does that really mean? Like, can you break that down for me like I'm 5 years old? I don't think there's an actual plan there. I think it's just, okay, we're going to spend some money just because. And we're going to raise taxes just to do it. Raise taxes, spend money, tax and spend, typical Democrat. But this guy is a little bit more than typical Democrat. He's just a communist. All right, now here he is talking about the anti-Muslim rhetoric because I guess he's Muslim. I know he's Indian, but is he Muslim? I think he is. I don't know. He's also an actor, so he could be anything. He might not even be religious, but that's a different story. Let's watch him get emotional about the anti-Muslim rhetoric.
I get messages that say the only good Muslim is a dead Muslim. I get threats on my life.
Bro, I'm not believing it, man. You need a little bit more acting lessons. Just a few more acting lessons to really make it be convincing, because this right here, all of that, I'm not really buying.
On the people that I love. And I try not to talk about it. Because the function of racism, as Toni Morrison said, is distraction. My focus has always been on making this a city that's affordable, on making this a city that every New Yorker sees themselves in. And it takes a toll. Because this is a city that every single person deserves to be in. It's a city that we all belong to. And the thing that's made me proudest in this campaign is that the strength of our movement is built on our ability to have built something across Jewish and Muslim New Yorkers, across New Yorkers of all faiths, and all backgrounds, and all boroughs. And anti-Semitism is such a real issue in the city, and it has been hard to see it weaponized by candidates who do not seem to have any sincere interest in tackling it, but rather in using it as a pretext to make political points. And that's what I've tried to share.
Thank you.
All right, there we go. So there's your man Zoltan crying. I'm not feeling it. Somebody said, did I go to college? I did. I went to college. Yes, I did. I did go to college. College is okay. College for me, what I got most from college, that was a random question. I'm not sure what I got asked. Matter of fact, my man who said that, why'd you ask me that? I'm curious. But for me, college was more about networking. I met a lot of people in college. I meet them anywhere. I meet people anywhere. So college is just one place to meet people. That's all it was. I got some skills from the community college. That's all I needed. And after that, I was pretty much done, off to the races. Okay. He also, speaking about Mamdani, he wants to empty jails because he says the concept of violence is a social construct. Now, I didn't know that if somebody get shot and deleted right on the street, that was social construct. I feel like if they did, they did. It's not like, oh, well, because you said they got shot and it was violence, then it makes it violence rather than the actual act itself being violence. So I'm not sure where he's going with that, but let's hear from him so I don't put words in his mouth.
Times we've even found as legislators, when we go into these courts, the term violent crime is even used when people are stealing packages. Violent crime is even used when people are accused of burglary and there happens to be a housing unit in that same dwelling. So violence is an artificial construction. And we have to be very clear that what is happening here with these district attorneys, that is violence. That is violence of the highest degree. Oftentimes we've even found as legislators, when we go into these courts, the term violent crime is even used when people are stealing packages. Violent crime is even used when people are accused of burglary and there happens to be a housing unit in that same dwelling.
Okay, so I guess maybe he thinks that if someone breaks into your home and steals something, that's not really a violent crime. All right, so if I run in your house, all right, let's play the game. So if I boot your door down to go steal something and you in there, what's that called? That's called a home invasion. That's a violent crime. So I don't know, man. You want to be soft on crime? Okay. What's going to happen is you're going to have an uptick in crime. The soft on crime policies never, ever work. They don't work. All they do is just make life more miserable for regular people who have to live in that kind of environment. You, the liberal, feel good about yourself. You say, you know what? I did something good today. I decided to not police these people who are out here committing crime. I'm not going to over police them. But once you under police, all you're going to do is get an uptick in crime. And those who you want to actually protect, in theory, I suppose, will be the main ones who are hurt. Black folks, that's going to be who he talks about a lot with the violence thing. In the community in which you speak about, you need to have a heavy hand from the police when there's a lot of crime. Period. People say, oh, we're over policed, it's too much police. Nah, the reason why there's a lot of police in a lot of these communities is because you got a high crime rate. If not for the police, the crime rate would be a lot higher and regular everyday normies would suffer the consequences of such policy. So now you got to go hard in certain places to keep regular civilians safe. Don't coddle the criminals at all. Don't do that. How you feel about that? Do you think that New York City, LA, some of these high crime places, are they just over policed? Is that causing the problem? Or is it the communities themselves? Me, coming from these environments, I know it's the people themselves. I know what it is. It's not the police. I said it before. When I was, 13, 14? I'm living in Portsmouth at the time, in Virginia. I'm living in Portsmouth. And my neighborhood, black neighborhood I always lived in, I was always in different kind of like hoods, quote unquote hoods. But I lived in like low level hoods. I lived in low to medium hoods, not like the big crazy hoods. We didn't live in a project ever. We stayed kind of like right below like an apartment that's kind of like income controlled apartment. We lived like in those kind of hoods. So occasionally we have somebody to get shot, or it might be some kind of, police interaction. maybe somebody beating their wife up in one of the apartments or something like this, but it wasn't like gangland, like LA, New York. It wasn't like that. But there were some parts of the city that was like that. So when they shut down one of these projects, they gave them vouchers to come to wherever they wanted in the city. And one place they came was our neighborhood. Our neighborhood, which is kind of quiet, aside from the occasional shooting, became an animal house overnight. So those people need to get policed with the the most iron fist you can find. You got to police them people. They did whatever they wanted to do, all hours of the night, whatever they wanted to do. I've never seen anything like it. So those places are not over policed. The people are just crazy, out of control, butt wild, no education. You got to have a really, really big iron fist on those people. But anyway, I digress. So look, back to Zohran. He wants to provide $65 million in funding for sex change, surgeries, puberty blockers, and whatnot for minors from taxpayer money. Like I said from the beginning, if you want to be an adult and do something to yourself, that's your prerogative, knock yourself out. But it should not be from taxpayer money, and you should not do it to children. And he wants to do both. Now, here he is talking to Laverne Cox. And bro, what's up with your name? Laverne Cox? Is that what we're going to do? Like, we don't see the irony in your name? Anyway, hey, some of y'all just a little bit too freaky for your own good. But anyway, here he is talking to Laverne. I'm not saying your last name no more, bro. We know you are, okay? A basketball player. You were a European basketball player. You played ball overseas and came back to the USA as a woman. I guess basketball didn't work out, and now you got to do this. But anyway.
And one of the things that we've said beyond saying that we're going to make this a sanctuary city for LGBTQIA plus workers, beyond saying that we're going to establish an office of LGBTQIA plus affairs, is also that we're going to provide $65 million in funding for gender affirming care, the same amount of funding that the federal government threatened to pull out from local providers for that kind of work. And in this moment especially, if we want to fight the Trump administration, we have to do so by fully funding our own services, taxing the wealthiest New Yorkers and corporations here. And one of the things that we've said beyond saying that we're going to make
a sanctuary for LGBTQ LMNP workers, $65 million toward that goal. Now, of course, that video was kind of hard to hear with all the New York sounds in the background, but you get the idea. You see his agenda. You see what's going on with this individual. Now, here's what I really wanted to show. This is about 50 Cent and the tax hike. So look, 50 Cent put out a tweet talking about, yo, where did he come from? Whose friend is this? I'm not feeling this plan. I'll give him a check for about $250 and the one we take out of New York. Get away from here. I don't want your policy to affect me, because Zohran has the idea to raise taxes on rich New Yorkers to pay for all his promises. He wants things like minimum wage, $30, free buses, free healthcare, transgender surgery money, government funded grocery stores to make no profit. You have all these agendas you want to fulfill, and you got to raise money from the taxpayers to be able to do it. Now, I don't see how, because check it out. Eric Adams had to cut funding, or at least it was proposed to cut funding from what you already got on the books as far as services because of the migrants. So, which you probably want to bring in the migrants too. You want the migrants, you want all this others, you want migrants, high minimum wage, free this, free that. You're not going to be able to pay for it. You want to raise taxes, all you're going to do is just move New Yorkers out of the way. He says, oh, it's only 2%. That's enough because you already taxing them a lot. They're paying like 51% right now. So at what point is the breaking point? 51%, 53%, 55%. At a certain point, we're beyond half of what I generate, you guys take. Why would I want that? Am I a slave? At what point is too much too much? If you guys take 80% of my money, what am I doing? I'm going to leave where I'm not being stolen from, where I'm not working as a slave. I want to get my money and keep the majority of it, not give the majority to you to set on fire in front of me. But let's watch what he said here on the Breakfast Club about the proposed tax hike. All right, let me throw it up right here. And hey, Breakfast Club, come on. Like, it's 2025. Are we still doing copyright claims? Let's not.
Proposed is that we raise $10 billion to pay for our entire economic agenda and start to Trump-proof our city, because we know he'll use federal funding as leverage over this city. And we will do so in two key ways. The first is to match the state's top corporate tax rate to that of New Jersey. We are at 7.25%. They're at 11.5%.
Now, look, the reason why you guys have a lower top end rate is because if it was any higher, like let's say you match it to what New Jersey has. The issue is there's other taxes they got to pay. It's not just as simple as that one tax being all they got to pay. They got to pay a bunch of other things as well. Just the general operating costs would become ridiculous if you matched it to what Jersey has. And the incentive to stay in New York as a corporation or rich person is now removed. That was part of your bargaining chip. Why would I stay in New York? I can go right across the river to Jersey and pay overall lower money, even though that top end rate is the same. The other taxes I got to pay are going to be lower than that top rate. So if they're the same, all things being the same as far as this main number, the other things will be cheaper. Therefore, Jersey is better than New York.
Corporations can pay it over there. They can pay it over here. And the beauty of it is that it doesn't just apply to corporations headquartered in New York City. Because when you say this, people will say, well, they're going to go to Florida. Mm-hmm. Wherever you are headquartered, as long as you do business in the state of New York, you are taxable for that corporate tax. We're talking about corporations that are making millions of dollars, not in revenue, but in profit. And the second is taxing the top 1% of New Yorkers. We're talking about people who make $1 million a year or more, taxing them just by a flat 2% tax increase. And I know if 50 Cent is listening, he's not going to be happy about this. Mm-hmm. He tends to not like this tax policy, but I want to be very clear. This is about $20,000 a year. It's a rounding error. And all of these things together, they make every New Yorker's life better, including those who are actually getting taxed.
Now look, why would I need you to take my money to make my life better? If I'm making that kind of money, what are you going to do to improve my life? I can spend my own money how I see fit and do whatever I want at that point. So what do y'all think? Do you think this program, this tax hike that he's proposing is going to help New Yorkers? Will it hurt New Yorkers? What's really going on? Y'all let me know. 20,000 per million. And of course, it won't stop there because they always say, oh, it's just this little thing. This is one little thing. It's always going to be the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. It'll never just be that. They don't stop there. They keep on trucking. That's how they do. So yeah, shout out to Zoltan. Not a big fan. And hopefully you guys in New York are able to vote for Eric Adams for the mayor in November. Because if that guy wins, you got a problem. Now, Trump spoke on Zoltan. Let's check him out. Shout out to the Orange Man. Let's get a little bit of sound and let's go.
Someday gets elected. I can't believe that's happening. That's a terrible thing for our country, by the way. He's a communist. We're going to go to a communistic state. That's so bad for New York. But the rest of the country is revolting against it. Someday gets elected. I can't.
Yeah, definitely a communist. And I don't think people really understand what communism is. I mean, we understand, but a lot of people that voted for this guy to become the Democratic Party nominee in New York City, they don't get it. They think he's going to do a great thing. They kind of have that Bernie Sanders type of, okay, we're going to tax the rich and spend it. It's not going to work. All you're going to do is just drive the rich away. And if you drive them away, what's going to happen is the services you have currently will suffer because the money available to pay for the services will not be there like the way it was before the rich folks left. A small minority of people in New York City pay the majority of all the taxes. If that small minority is somehow disrupted or they leave, what are you going to do? What will you do? It's not going to be a good look. All they probably end up doing at that point is just flooding y'all with migrants, which is already happening. That already happened, and you don't want a repeat of that. 2020, 2024, Roosevelt Hotel, illegal aliens doing whatever they want to do. You don't want that same scene again. Now, let's get into the whole thing with the migrants. Hold on. Denver wants to do something where Denver has a program that they can track people through the license plate. Okay, you got a plate. They can kind of see where you're going, and there's data in this tracking list, I guess you would say, and that can be used to assist ICE in deportations. But they want to end that because it can be used to help ICE in deportations. So a safety feature that Denver uses currently is not going to be there anymore, which would lead to a lower quality of life for all people in Denver. But it's okay because the migrants, we got to protect them. And it's ironic because a lot of these Western places that want the migrants, not just Western, but a lot of places, New York, California, Colorado, etc. A lot of these places did not want slavery to expand in their territory. Oh, it's so immoral, and we don't want to have that. We want to have Americans working. Okay, but now you want to bring in the migrants. Tell me the big difference. I mean, there's some differences. Obviously, it's not a forced thing, but the idea is the exact same. We want to get very cheap labor for the lowest cost possible. So if they're here illegally, so what? If they're a slave, so what? It's the same mindset. And again, the very same places who did not want to expand slavery into their territory are bringing a form of it back to their state right now. But let's watch some of this.
These blue city, these blue cities are the ones that are in danger. I mean, of putting public safety as not a priority in their cities. I mean, it's all about defending, protecting illegal aliens. It is not about the residents. It is not about the citizens and ensuring their safety and that putting that as a priority. And it's all in the name of like the sanctuary city world, which I think has been very destructive and has led to more crimes in these cities. These blue cities. Exactly. Now, here's what I'm talking about right here. The car theft tracking system. Yeah. So they're able to track car thefts with the system right here. And since this system can be used to help also track down illegal aliens, they shut the whole thing down. So if your car got stolen, you got a Toyota Prius, a Tesla or whatever, hey man, it is what it is. The tools we had to be able to help recover your vehicle, we don't have that anymore. So hopefully you had GPS, you had a tracking device, an Apple AirTag or something in your car. If you didn't, you pretty much out back.
This story starts with a bro, not a bro, a.bro, and how someone whose name starts that way is conducting searches on the Loveland Police Department's Flock account and listing the reason as ICE.
I can't begin to tell you how concerning this is to me.
Flock cameras are those automated license plate readers, taking pictures of each plate and putting it into a network. Unless cities, counties, or agencies opt out, the network shares data with thousands of other law enforcement. Immigration agents are not supposed to have direct access to the network, but they may be getting it from local law enforcement. Flock says they're not controlling how agencies share access.
It is not the responsibility of a private vendor to be policing the police.
Loveland police say a bro is not one of their officers. In fact, they say the search under their account was conducted by an officer with the ATF. Loveland police say the ATF came to town to help them on the Tesla vandalism case, and they gave them their Flock access.
Any police department can just say, no, we're not sharing with anybody.
An audit of national Flock searches shows a bro using Loveland's account ran 6 searches in late April, and in the column for the search reason, wrote ICE. When we asked, Loveland police said that the ATF had its own Flock account.
By the way, ATF is not a customer of Flock.
Loveland police also added it doesn't monitor the ATF's activity on it, though it can.
If there are ATF agents who can go into the Flock system as a Loveland user, that means they automatically have full access to all plate images in Denver.
Denver City Councilwoman Sarah Parody is pushing for Denver to immediately end its contract with Flock. The city voted last month not to renew a contract beyond 2025. Denver shares its data with 86 agencies, including Loveland.
It does confirm what we were most worried about.
Parity fears ICE agents could get into the network and track people down.
So there you go. So they don't want to be able to use this software for the illegal aliens to be able to deport them. Hey man, Denver, it's a Californication, in my humble opinion. That's all that it is, Californication. But look, if you ask me, I say use whatever tool you have to your advantage. You use whatever you can to get the illegal aliens up out the way. I don't care nothing about nothing they got going on. It doesn't really matter to me at all. Now, they got a new chant. And again, going back to the whole thing about the violence, right? The left always says the right, we're the ones who engage in the violence. Whenever we do anything, we're the ones who engage in the violence. But it's rare that you ever see any of us engaging in violence. You don't see us out there chanting violent, hateful, dangerous chants. But they do. Here's one right here. Check it out.
Free, free! Free, free! Free, free! Alright, but have you heard this one though? Death, death to the IDF! Death, death to the IDF! Death, death to the IDF! Death, death to the IDF!
So that's happening right there at this concert. This guy's name, Bob Dylan. Hey, if I'm Bob Dylan or his estate or whoever, I'm suing this dude's dreads clean off his head. I'm suing this dude's white boxing shorts off. Not that way. I don't want to see nothing up underneath, but you know what I'm talking about. Whatever he got to his name, the shoes, the sock, I'm suing all of that. Bob Dylan with the Palestine flag, and you see the flags in the audience. I don't hear these kind of chants from conservative people. It's always from these individuals, but we're the bad ones. We're the racists. We're the homophobes. We're the hateful. We want to be. It's all projection. Is it in the USA? I don't think so. I mean, it could be. I don't know where it is. It's somewhere. It's some Western place where they are allowed to say stuff like that and do stuff like that, and it's not really a problem. Yeah, but I'm not really sure exactly where that is. Okay, well, let's keep on going. We got quite a bit more. Hold on. Oh, here was a good one. So MSNBC, they say there'll be no more farm workers or restaurant workers because of the ICE raids. So I guess Americans cannot do farm work. We can't farm. Do you guys know that at one point, America was 90% agrarian, which meant that we worked on farms? 90%. What was it like in the early 1900s? 90% working on farms. And now all of a sudden we can't farm. Now we can't work in a restaurant, basic stuff like that. Americans can't do. I'm not really buying that. Let's watch some of this right here.
Paul, you first. I mean, because Molly mentions those people that are the farm workers, certainly of the ag industry that's being affected. You've got hospitality industry, going to a restaurant even. I mean, you may not have people being able to clear your place, move so quickly, the food being served. Yeah. The people aren't going to like that. Paul, you.
So look, we got to bring the slaves back, okay? Because who's picking the cotton? Who's tending to the babies? Who's working in the farms? Who's working in hospitality, restaurants? Busting tables, washing dishes. I mean, who's going to do that if we have no slave labor? That's the argument that I'm hearing. They don't think that it sounds like that because in their world, in their bubble, what they're saying makes sense to them. But to us, it does not make sense, and therein lies a problem. There's a problem right there. We're not on the same page as it relates to that. Now, shout out to you guys. I've shown this before, but people say, hey, ABL, you never work. You don't do no working. You don't want to do these jobs. So why should it be up to the migrants to do it? You don't want to do it. Well, look, here I am right here. Look, watch. That's me. Yes, that's ABL right there. I'm 19 years old in this picture. This is me and my homie Dominic at Old Country Buffet. I just got done working. That's why I'm not buttoned up like the way I should be. my shirt not tucked in and my collar's crazy, normally I would look like him. Okay, with my shirt buttoned up and tucked into my pants, but I just got done work. You see my hands, they're like really white because I just got done working. I had on these big gloves. I'm washing dishes, and then sometimes my gloves are not on or whatever, so my hands would be like that. At the end of the shift, it'd be like that. It's to the point nowadays where if I put my hand on hot water, like scalding or boiling hot water, it don't even burn. I accidentally poured some boiling water on my hand like 2 months ago. It didn't even burn. It was just like whatever. And Dominic was a foreign exchange student from Poland. Spoke English, not here illegally. That's the way it used to be. And me, obviously, I'm black, and I'm in there working. I worked there from age 17 to age 22. High school and college. Okay? So when you say, oh, it won't be anybody to bust the table, why not? These are the jobs you should be doing at this age. I'm 19 years old. I'm in college. I need a little extra money. Why not? You don't need to accrue a bunch of illegal aliens in there doing the jobs that Americans can do. And I can say that because I've done it. I worked there for 5 years. When I was done, they gave me a little plaque, like a little award. So yeah. Okay. So shout out to my man Dominic from Poland, foreign exchange student. And shout out to everybody that was out there working the Old Country Buffet. I had a great time. I had a fantastic time. So yeah. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for joining. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. That was me. Yes, it was. Alrighty. At my old job, hey, we did everything. You wash the dishes. You would take the trash out. Take them boiling pots of grease out to the back. You clean the bathrooms. And some of y'all, the bathrooms are always worse on the women's side because y'all got a lot more functions and stuff going on. Y'all will have everything in that bathroom. It was a mess. It's like going into like your little cousin. Like if you ever live with women and y'all got to share a bathroom, you know what I'm talking about. It was like that, but to the max. Okay, definitely better times back then. For sure, better times. For sure, better times. But now we can't even do that. We can't do anything without having illegal aliens. All right, here's my man right here talking about he's a Trump supporter, and he's upset that we got all these mass deportations because he has a construction company, I believe, and he can't get anything done. Let's watch this.
I was a Trump supporter. I don't know how long I can keep doing this. I have a construction company, and not a fucking thing is getting done. This is what I get. This is what I fucking get. Nothing but white boys. It takes 4 days to do a one-day job. I might have fucked up.
Okay, I'm sorry for the cussing, but you understand they can't talk without cursing. But look though, okay, what part of mass deportations you didn't understand? What part of the phrase mass deportations did you not understand? You knew what he was going to do from the very beginning. Trump said, listen, one thing about Trump, he's not a guy that will say something and then not do it for the most part. If he doesn't do it, he's going to try. He'll give it his best try. He ran on mass deportations. So I don't understand what you're really upset about. Okay, white boy taking 4 days for a one-day job. It is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, I'm sure that if you were able to have slave labor, it'd be a lot cheaper than if you got to pay guys, but you can't have it. So it is what it is, man. And you know what? Here's what I say. If you want to change that, you got to encourage more of that kind of work being done by Americans rather than the hyper reliance on the illegal alien labor. That's it. Have more Americans that can do those jobs. We can't just keep outsourcing everything. Look, we don't build anything in the country anymore. Everything made in China. You got foreign. Listen, the things that we consume, these devices and whatnot we consume, these are all made in China. And then we want to build things in America. It's being built by foreign labor, not even here legally. What can Americans do for ourselves? We can't just consume. At a certain point, you got to produce something. We can't just consume the whole time. We got to produce things, not just consume things. So it is what it is, bro. I mean, look, you know what he ran on. I know what he ran on. If you didn't expect for it to actually happen, that's on you. That's on you, bro. It is what it is. Okay, so this person is from LA Times, and they're going to coach. Hold on. This lady is from LA Times, and in this video, she's going to coach LA moms who have illegal aliens working in their house. Kind of just like slaves, right? Okay, you got some house slaves in your house, and now it's 1865. Slavery's over with, so now what do? Okay, Aunt Jemima cannot be in your house no more breastfeeding your baby, so now what you going to do? That's the same thing that I'm hearing right here. That's what I'm hearing from this lady. But let's watch this. Hold on. Throw it on the screen right quick, and let's get rocking and rolling.
Do you have a nanny or other household worker? You might be unsure how to help them right now as the ICE raids continue across LA. There's a lot of fear and uncertainty right now, so we spoke to domestic employer nonprofit Hand in Hand to get you some answers. First off, know your rights. Remember that ICE cannot enter your home without a warrant signed by a judge unless you give them permission. And make sure your employees know their rights too. They have a right to remain silent and contact an attorney. Limit risk where you can. A lot of nannies are taking a big risk by going to work right now. Consider offering them paid leave. And if you can't, you might offer to accompany them to a bus stop or pay for a taxi to help them get to work safely. And don't forget, domestic workers are entitled to 5 days of paid sick leave. Be flexible. A nanny might not feel comfortable taking their usual trips to the park or the library with your child. Talk to them about what they need to feel safe. Start the conversation. Nannies might not feel comfortable asking for what they need, so don't be afraid to ask. If you don't know your nanny status, don't ask for it. But don't be afraid to tell them how you feel about what's unfolding. That may give them the confidence to confide in you later. Learn more about how childcare workers are faring amid the ICE raids at latimes.com.
All right, there we go. So she's telling you, hey, you got a nanny in your house, watching your kids, whatever, and you know, she don't speak no English, might be here illegally, so here's what you got to do to avoid them. They're coaching you right here, giving you the video. Listen, you know what you could do? You could just hire an American. An American, you know, you could just hire them rather than having this cheap labor from overseas. It's slavery all over again. There's no difference. It's the same concept. And then when we say, let's stop that, we already ended that. They say that we're wrong. Not an SNL skit. They're dead serious, 100% serious. Now, speaking about Los Angeles, Border Patrol did a raid in Los Angeles in which a bunch of Iranians were arrested in a human trafficking ring. All right. Let's watch. Oh, and I was told that, you know, they're fruit pickers and bed makers and nannies, and they're just working in restaurants and hotels. That's what I was thought. I was told they're just here working. Okay. But obviously they're not just working. They're doing other things like engaging in criminality. All right. So no sound on the video, but you see what's going on. Okay. We got Iranian nationals and they got human trafficking going on. So my question is, we just hit Iran with the bomb. Are these guys sleeper cells? They could be, at least. If you're here in the country from Iran and you're already engaging in criminality, what would prevent you from just going the next level and doing something crazy? Like, I don't know, Allahu Akbar with a big vest on your chest right there in downtown LA. What would stop that from happening? You see, this is part of the reason why illegal aliens got to get up out of here. They got to go. And again, I'm going to stress it, illegal. That's the key, illegal. It's not about nothing else other than them being here illegally. That is the key. Oh, and here's something else though. Check it out. Check it out. Have you guys heard about Alligator Alcatraz? So Ron DeSantis is currently building. It's not a proposal. It's being built right now. I'm going to show it to you in a minute. But there's a detention facility for 5,000 illegal aliens right there in the Florida Everglades. Okay, so if you want to try to escape, well, it might not go too well because some alligators, they hungry. Okay, and they hey, you in the swamp, you don't know where you at. You might be gator food sooner than later. But let's watch this. Again, Alligator Alcatraz is going to house 5,000 illegal aliens. Let's check it out.
Starting next month, 5,000 migrants will be housed in trailers and heavy-duty tents at this remote, abandoned airfield.
As I call it, Alligator Alcatraz.
In a promotional video set to music, Florida's Attorney General lays out what he considers a deterrent for any potential escapees.
People get out, there's not much waiting for them other than alligators and pythons.
But some local officials warn the environmental impact could be devastating.
We have environmental and fiscal stewardship and safety concerns.
The Trump administration has said it wants to get up to 100,000 beds at detention centers across the country starting next month.
All right, so look, the mayor of, what was it? The mayor of Miami-Dade County? Is that what that was? Let me see if I can see that. Yeah, the mayor of Miami-Dade County talking about some environmental issues. It's like, all right, Florida is pretty much, it's a bunch of people that live near the Everglades or on a wetland or right there on the water. Miami, right there on the water. Come on, you're not worried about no environment. Ain't worried about no environment. When I was down in Miami, when I go down there, I'm seeing buildings right there on the water. You can see it when you're flying in. It's just buildings all in the flat land by the water. So you're not worried about no environment. That's completely BS. You're worried about the illegal aliens who's going to be out there who are not going to be able to escape. Because if they do escape, they'll get bit right in their hind parts by a python, by a gator, and it's going to be bad news. Okay, it's going to be all the way bad news. But me, I like Alligator Alcatraz. And again, like my man said, it's a deterrent. If you don't want to go to Alligator Alcatraz, if you don't want to risk having the python bite you square in your hind parts, okay, then how about don't come to the country illegally? Or look, you got the app on your phone, CBP One, get you a free flight back to the crib and stay there. Now, if you want to come back, if you want to be like, oh, I get a vacation, so give me a vacation. If you want to do that and come back, well, look, the facility is waiting for you. It's waiting for you. Don't worry about it. It puts you right there and enjoy the gators, enjoy the swamp, enjoy the mosquitoes tearing you up, enjoy all that. Okay, now, speaking about illegal aliens, anchor babies, things like this, Trump says that birthright citizenship is a scam and it was only for one kind of person, not those who are coming here illegally. Let's watch.
Thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with numerous policies that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis. And some of the cases we're talking about would be ending birthright citizenship, which now comes to the fore. That was meant for the babies of slaves. It wasn't meant for people trying to scam the system and come into the country on a vacation. This was, in fact, it was the same date, the exact same date, the end of the Civil War. It was meant for the babies of slaves, and it's so clean and so obvious. But this lets us go there and finally win that case because hundreds of thousands of people are pouring into our country under birthright citizenship, and it wasn't meant for that reason. It was meant for the babies of slaves. So thanks to this decision, we can now promptly file to proceed with these numerous policies and those that have been wrongly enjoined on a nationwide basis, including birthright citizenship, ending sanctuary city funding, suspending refugee resettlement, freezing unnecessary funding, stopping federal taxpayers from paying for transgender surgeries, and numerous other priorities of the American people.
There we go. So I'm right on. Shout out to Trump. Shout out to Trump. Yeah. I hope he's able to get this thing done with the anchor babies because that's been a real issue. And it's bad. And it's, some are going to say, oh, you hate Mexicans. It's not even about, if anybody says it's about Mexicans, they're just not really aware of what's happening in this world, let alone the USA. They don't know what's going on here. There's a bunch of people that come here just to have kids and they go right back home. There was a woman, a politician in South Korea who had her kids here and then went back to South Korea because if your children are born in South Korea, or I forget the way it was, but basically being born here gave them U.S. citizenship. Therefore, they were excluded from mandatory military service. See how that works? Also, a bunch of Russians come here and have anchor babies. A lot of Chinese come here with anchor babies. Central Americans. The whole world comes here to take advantage of us. And we say, you know what? No more. No more. We're not going to do it. And then they say we're racist. Nah, we don't want our country taken advantage of. We don't want to be looted. We don't want people to come over here just, be an anchor. I saw it before. Years ago, I watched a video of a woman coming across the border on a flatbed. And she was part of a caravan with a lot of them coming to the border. They were just pouring across, or trying to at least. Now, the woman got to the border and was able to get across. She was pregnant. As soon as she hopped over the border, all of a sudden she had the baby. I'm talking about she hopped over the border and then a few days later, brand new baby. And then out of nowhere, oh, here go a 4-year-old. Oh, here go a husband. So just like that, you got a family of 4 with an anchor baby. And the reason they call it an anchor baby is because that usually prevents the parents from being deported. Because, okay, if you're going to deport the parents, what about the baby? The baby's a citizen. You can't deport the baby. You see? So that kind of stuff right there has got to come to an end. It's got to come to an end. Don't tell me, oh, I'm poor and I'm this and I'm that and the third, and I just got a baby and I'm trying to find somebody to take. You got a whole family. You're married. You married with other kids. You came over here to take advantage of us. That's what you did. A 4-year-old and a husband, just like that. A family of 4 immediately, because of the anchor baby, are now all here. They're now all here. Chain migration, anchor babies, all that stuff got to come to an end. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. So look.
POV in
there's a lawsuit, or someone's trying to, there's an attempt at a lawsuit against In-N-Out Burger because of hair discrimination. Can you watch some of this right quick?
POV In-N-Out discrimination $3 million lawsuit Elijah Obeng.
In-N-Out discriminate. In-N-Out discriminate. In-N-Out discriminate. I hear my right.
POV In-N-Out.
All right, so look, bro, you're trying to be out there like it's the 1960s protesting In-N-Out Burger because you got what appears to be some straight back cornrows looking like Set It Off. Okay, bro, you are so behind. What's happening right now is you are fighting people for resources, probably some migrants in there working. A lot of times what happens in a spot like this is you'll get migrants in there, probably some Hispanics in California, and they're going to get a job, high-level position, maybe they'll be in it. They'll find a way to be in charge of hiring, and they're only going to hire their friends and family, not you. They can say, oh, you got cornrows, and that's the reason. It might even be the reason. Even if it was, it doesn't really matter. You out here like it's the 60s trying to protest. That's not going to work. That don't work at all. That does not work anymore. Nobody really cares. And the more they bring in the migrants, like California especially, the more they embrace them, the less they care about you. Because you, a Black American, you're going to be replaced. That's the whole process that's happening right now with the migrants. New York City, California, Los Angeles, they're replacing you. They feel like you guys are the labor class and you don't want to work, you don't want to do anything. Let's bring in the migrants. And when you do want to work, we're going to exclude you because it's all about us now. We're just trying to build ourselves up. You had your chance, you had your opportunity. Now it's us. You out here with a sign protesting. You might as well just turn the sign around and say, can I borrow $1? We'll work for food, something like that. You might as well go out there and beg on the streets rather than trying to protest them. You probably would get more money doing the latter than the former. They don't care about your protest, bro. They don't. And the same thing going on here. Okay. My man right here is talking about announcing a lawsuit against Walmart because of the background check policy. Let's watch some of this, shall we? And I have quite a bit to say about this on the back end. Let's watch.
About hundreds of black workers like me who was tragedy discarded and left to find fend for themselves. Not because we couldn't do our job, but because of something in our past.
Having a record does not define you or your character. It should not determine your worth, and it certainly shouldn't be used as an excuse to fire black workers trying to build a better life.
I got two things. First of all, is some kind of organization behind this, some kind of union that they're trying to have that's behind this, making them read that and using him as the front piece of it to try and come up with something that they want to do. So here he's just reading from a sheet of paper and he's barely able to read it, talking about find when it said fend because he didn't write it. And then this guy right here, he's probably like one of the guys that's actually in charge of organizing the whole situation. Okay. But at the end of the day, you should want a background check for any kind of employee. Because look, I've worked with guys that had just came home from the penitentiary, guys that had crazy backgrounds, and you don't listen. I'm not going to say that someone with a background can't be a good worker, but they, in my opinion, are more likely to have problems than those without a background, without some kind of criminal background, especially like if you're dealing with drugs, any kind of theft or something like that. You don't want a guy with a shoplifting past or a drug past working at Walmart, because off the rip, you know, if there's a drug problem and a theft problem, you have a higher chance of that guy stealing from you, and it'd be a higher turnover rate. He'll steal from you and bounce. So the money you spent trying to onboard him and all of that, you didn't waste it, and you got robbed in the process. So you need to have a background check system in place. Plus, you're dealing with the public, and you're going to have sometimes dangerous people. If you got drugs, if you got theft, if you got a violent crime, I don't want that kind of person talking to customers, interacting with them. It's just overall a bad thing. Sometimes a person's background does not reflect who they are right now, but it's Walmart at the end of the day. So you're going to get a lot of street people, and you can't really take them on. As simple as that. It's not about race. Because I done work with guys that have been locked up. Okay, I got a quick story, but no names to be mentioned. So back when I was working with my guys over at the ad agency, shout out to PMG. This is like, 2008-ish, 2009? This was kind of like on the back end of it. We were trying to bring in some sales guys, and we put like an ad out there in the paper, and I was the guy that was hiring people. I'm young. I'm like 22, 23, 24. I'm probably like, 24-ish? Right around that. I'm at 25 at the oldest. So I'm not thinking, we got to do a background check on these guys. And actually, you know what? I'm wrong. I brought on some guys that were graphic designers, and they were cool. Other people brought on the other guys. I did not bring them on. It wasn't my fault. One day I come to work or to the actual office, and there's new guys in there. I don't know who they are. Coming to find out, these guys had backgrounds. One guy, he was an Hispanic guy, looked like Oscar De La Hoya in the face. Looked just like Oscar De La Hoya. It might have been him, but anyway, he had just come home from the penitentiary. He was very good at sales, but he was a criminal. So he wound up doing some kind of funny stuff, stealing and stuff like this. Another guy, black guy, was also very good at sales, but again, was a criminal. had history of the main two guys that were the problem. We were in the club one night and we met them. Two white guys. Looking back on it, they were the ultimate shyster looking dudes, but they had business cards. They looked kind of professional to me being 24, but now being 40 years old, I look back and it's like these two greaseballs were a red flag from the beginning, but they wound up being brought on by other guys, not me. They were doing sales as well, but they wound up stealing so much. They stole their hind parts off. And my man, I ain't gonna say his name, but he still like supported them. I'm like, bro, why are you gonna support these criminals? Oh man, you know, they had a pass. It's like, okay, they got a pass and a present. They didn't stole stuff. The moral of the story is background checks are very important. If you don't do them, you're gonna put yourself, your business in harm's way. Now, here's some good news. Nestle is going to join the train of removing all food dyes from all their products by 2026. That's some good news right there. Let's check it out.
This morning, Nestle is following suit and will eliminate synthetic food dyes from its products here in the U.S. The company says it plans to remove the dyes by next year, following big brands like Kraft, Heinz, and General Mills, who will announce that it will be eliminating dyes as well. Nestle says less than 10% of its U.S. food and beverage portfolio currently contain these synthetic colors. Artificial ingredients have been under scrutiny, especially from Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and the Department of Health and Human Services. And this morning, Nestle is following.
There we go. Shout out to Nestle, making things happen. We got the big companies following through. And you know what? My goal is for food in America to be on par with Europe as far as the standard, because we got too much bad food floating around. I mean, really, really bad food. And I understand freedom to buy whatever you want to buy, but I think that we have an imperative in this country to take care of our citizenry. I don't think it should be okay for companies to sell straight up poison. Like, if there was a food that had rat poison in it, you shouldn't be able to sell that without telling you, hey, it has rat poison in it and it could kill you. Same thing with the food. It shouldn't even be legal to sell that even with a warning on it. If it's rat poison, sell it by itself as rat poison. Don't put it in the food. Don't do that. Have food be food. Rat poison be rat poison. And going back to the whole thing about COVID-19 and comorbidities, a big part of the reason why there were so many deaths is because of the bad food, the poisons in the food, the things that make people be 1,000 pounds. If we can curtail that, we can improve the health of our citizenry, for sure. All right, hold on. Mountain Dew is banned in Europe. It should be banned here as well. Mountain Dew is terrible. Like, these kind of sodas, I don't deal with it at all. It's just sugar, all in your body. The artificial dyes, everything. It's bad. It's real bad. Now, speaking about being big backed, having a bad diet, comorbidities, diabetes, high blood pressure, heart problems. Jamal Bowman recently said that the stress of being called the N-word is why black folks have all these kind of diseases like diabetes and obesity. I am not making this up. Let's watch. Y'all give me a second and we're going to go ahead and start from the top right here. All right, let's go ahead and let it roll.
You can't be calm about this. I'm a black man in America. The reason why heart disease...
I'm white, I can't comment
Listen
on
to what I'm saying.
what
The
you're
reason
saying?
why heart disease and cancer and
racist
obesity
because I can't
and
comment on
diabetes are bigger in the black community is because of the stress we carry from having to deal with being called the N-word directly or indirectly every day. If you can't be calm...
All right, bro. Jamal Bowman. That's why we got cancer. I didn't know being called the N-word give you cancer. I've never heard that. Hey, if y'all got to study that links N-word to cancer. Listen, I have never heard that before in my life. If y'all got to study that links to it, please let me know. But check it out. Jamal Bowman, bro, come on, man. First of all, ain't nobody calling you the N-word. And if it is, it'd be a guy look just like me and just like you. It'd be one of us. It'd be a fellow African-American. I think, I'm not sure where you from, but you black. It'd be somebody look like us. A white guy not going to do that to you. Not usually. It's not enough to worry about at all. So how is that causing you any kind of stress? You are worried about a ghost. It's not even right there. You're hearing voices in your head. Like a schizo. You don't know what's going on. That ain't causing the diabetes and the high blood pressure and the cancer. You know what is causing it? You know what is causing it? All the salt and the sugar and the fat and the alcohol and the crack smoke and the weed smoke and all that kind of stuff we put in our body. All the impurities, all the negative things we put in our body every day, that's what's causing it. All right? That's what it is. If you drink every day and become an alcoholic, well, you're going to have problems. If you eat all the time, and I can see, Mr. Bowman, you like to eat. You know what I mean? Like I see you in the gym pumping iron, but I'm seeing a lot going on with your draws. You know what I mean? I'm seeing a lot happening. Bro, back away from the soul food. We saw the movie, okay, soul food at the end. What happened? Big Mama got diabetes and they cutting their leg off and she died, all this, that, and the third. And right before she died, what they do? Get a big meal of soul food. Salt, 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 salt everywhere. You seasoning your chicken, you dumping out a whole thing of salt. That much salt right there, what's it, 16 ounces? You'll have this amount of salt on one steak and cook the steak like it's a tire or a pair of basketball shoes. We got a bad diet. I don't eat like you, bro. You know what I want to see, Jamal Bowman? And beyond color, this is an American thing. What I want to see is what you eat every day. Do you eat 3 meals? For what? And what are we eating? Eggs and, with salt and sugar. And I saw the rapper Lil Boosie. I'm going to find this video. I saw Lil Boosie making spaghetti. He had a thing of granulated sugar, like one of them big pouches. He was pouring the sugar into the spaghetti like it was water. Like it was water, just shh. I'm like, bro, first of all, I don't put no sugar in spaghetti at all because, actually, here's something. Here's a little bit of tidbit information. In America, we like sugar so much, it's in everything already. If you got some Prego, it's sugar already in it. It's added sugar in the Prego off the rip. So you don't need any more sugar than what's already right there. He's pouring the sugar in there. And then he's like, why do I have diabetes? Why am I like having white stuff right here on the side of my mouth all the time? It's because you're dehydrated because you got all the sugar in your body. The N-word, bro. The N-word, yes, golf and guns, sugar. I'm going to find that. I'm going to find it right now. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I'm going to find it right now. Oh, I found it, right? Look, first search, I found it. From me, that's funny. I posted it my own self. Look, I looked for it and look, I had posted it my own self back in 2023. Okay, see, look, 2023. Hold on, let's put it on the main screen. This, Jamal Bowman, hold on. This is what's causing us to have all these diseases. Bro, that right there is unhealthy. It is what it is. How are you going to survive doing that? I thought I was playing. I thought I was just joking, huh? I thought I was like making stuff up. I can't make that up. I cannot just be in my bed like, okay, what kind of story can I create? A rapper pouring an entire bag of sugar into spaghetti. I cannot make that up if I tried. That's an addiction, exactly. Yo, you be listen to me now. Y'all be surprised how many of us do that. Not my family. We don't do that. Some of y'all do that. I hope, listen, not y'all, I'm sorry. I hope not y'all. But some Americans do that. They do. And that is causing a lot of health problems. Not being called the N-word, Jamal Bowman, that ain't really doing it. All right, but if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, let's go overseas right quick, okay? Sugar in the spaghetti, that's terrible. But also, there's another kind of sugar. All right? It don't come from no sugar cane. It comes from something else. And I think that Miss Giorgia Meloni, the prime minister, I believe, or president of Italy, I believe that Giorgia Meloni has had a little bit too much of this kind of sugar and it's making her look kind of crazy. All right, you see this? Let's watch some of this. And no sound because it's in Italian. But I want you guys to let me know what is going on with Miss Giorgia Meloni. Again, the Italian prime minister at the NATO meeting. Eyes bucking, all kinds. I don't see this move right here. When you see that, that right there, that's cocaine or that's crack, really. But I am seeing the eyes bucking. I'm talking about dinner plates on your face. Why? Are you okay? What's going on? Now, I was reading about this. Some say, oh, she could just be stressed, a little bit tired, etc., etc. I don't know what it is. I think that this could be her hanging out with Zelensky, getting that good booger sugar from Colombia. Okay, hold on. First of all, look, when she pulled up, you're getting that right there. Watch, look, see, what was that? So give me the verdict, y'all. What do y'all think? Y'all think it's cocaine? Y'all think it's just her being a little bit stressed, a little bit tired? Am I overreacting? What do y'all think is going on with Giorgia Meloni? If it's cocaine, I'm not surprised because I feel like the Europeans, that's kind of what they do. To them, that's just like a cigarette or something like this. Okay. The Europeans, they go hard with the drugs and the alcohol. They go super hard. Okay. Someone said, looks like Coke, Slava cocaine. You can't see her hands. We have no idea what she's saying. Well, I mean, she's speaking in Italian, so unless you speak Italian, I don't know. That's why I didn't have the sound on. So sugar boogers, methamphetamine, nose candy. Hey, Adderall, and you were overreacting. Okay, look, I don't do drugs. I never had cocaine. I never had Adderall. If y'all know the difference, then that's fine. You know what I mean? I got to ask my resident dope fiends, hey, is that coke, meth, crack? What is that? Because I don't know. That's why I ask y'all. Either way it goes, if you are the prime minister of a nation, I don't think this look right here, I don't think this is a good look to have. I'm just saying. Hey, if that was Trump out there like that, it wouldn't be wall-to-wall coverage. Trump sold cocaine. Something's wrong with him. He on that stuff. He's talking about Hunter Biden wanting to lock him up, but he is on the same thing that he's on. That'd be the story 24/7. And y'all know that it would be. Y'all know that it would be. So, yeah, shout out to Giorgia Meloni. Now, speaking about overseas, this is going to be London. London. Now, again, some may say, look, ABL, you're overreacting. It's just one neighborhood. Not a big deal. But I'm seeing this kind of stuff all the time over there. It's kind of been a thing that's been happening for a long time. The Islamic culture took over Europe before. The Iberian Peninsula, Portugal, Spain, took it all over. A lot of the Spanish language comes from Arabic, like al lado, meaning next to or to the left. That comes from Arabic, the al. A lot of azúcar is an Arabic word, meaning sugar, also means sugar in Spanish. So you could be saying the same thing happening in London that happened in Spain years prior. Let's watch some of this. Yeah, that could be New York pretty soon because, hey, you got my man coming in, and then you have you have an environment that's kind of ripe for Islam to take hold, because you're bringing in a bunch of the migrants and Christianity has gotten a lot weaker. So when you have a stronger religion that appeals to men in a time where men are kind of lost in many ways, it's prime for Islam to come in and take over. Now, I'm not anti-Muslim or whatever, but what I do know is that if that kind of culture comes here, it's not really compatible with what we got going on. America was not founded on that, and I don't think that it'll survive. It won't be the same if that becomes a dominant culture here. If you have pockets of it, sure. But if that's a dominant culture, I don't know that we continue as a nation the same way we had been for a very long time. That was London for sure. Now, here's somebody from Canada, a Canadian, I guess, reporter, talking about, well, you guys matter about a Muslim mayor, but you want a Hindu governor and a future first lady, which in my opinion is not really, that's not the conversation to have, because it's not even really about him being a Muslim. But I'm gonna let her talk and then we'll keep on going here. All right, let's watch this, get a little bit of sound.
But I think what bothers me about people focusing on the fact that he's Muslim is because there's such a double standard with Republicans when it comes to this. If you're going to say you want Muslims in charge of the country, or you don't want Muslims in charge of the country, which I personally very much agree with. I think that America was founded as a Christian nation. It was founded by Christians. The founding stock of America would be shocked if they had any idea we had Muslims as the mayor of New York City today. But you have to be consistent and not be okay with having Jews in charge of the country.
A complete idiot. Listen, it's not even about the religion. You focus on the wrong thing. It's not about Zohran or whatever his name is being a Muslim. It's about his policy. The whole Muslim thing could be an issue if you focus on it and make it an issue. But if you're not focused on that as an issue, then it's not an issue. Now, speaking about, I guess you're talking about, Vivek and his wife. Vivek has not come up with any kind of religious type of, okay, we're going to have Hindu. Nah, it's about policy. Focus on policy first. If part of his policy is bringing in different culture, different religion, trying to supplant us with other people, different story. If the guy in New York wants to bring in a bunch of migrants from one kind of place with one kind of, that's a whole different thing. The main thing is the policy. And she's just young, don't understand nothing. At a certain point, I don't know. If you're going to be doing news or anything like that, and you're not like, I like to listen to people that's like old give news, at least like in their 60s. If you're like my age or younger, I'm good. Don't worry about it. But it's not even about the religion as much as it's about the policy and the things that he wants to do. That's all. That is it, and that is all. But yeah, shout out to that young girl right there. Now listen, let's go back to the USA. This family bought a 120-year-old, 57-acre home in the Appalachian Mountains. Now, I'm not really sure where they at or the price, but I'm going to show you guys how they're living out here in the mountains, because I've seen this lifestyle before, and it can work out very well, but it's not for everybody. If you want to have a lot of amenities near you, you want to be in the kind of city area, this ain't for you. If you're able to be out there in nature, if you're able to kind of tend to some land and whatnot, this could be for you. Let's check some of this out.
Hi, I'm Anna.
And I'm Brock.
And we're the owners of Piney Fork Homestead.
2 weeks ago, we bought this 120-year-old Victorian log cabin on 57 acres of land. It sits in the heart of the Appalachian Mountains. Our property is mostly wooded, but we have 2 large creeks and 3.5 acres of pasture land. The property is laden with fruit trees and berry bushes, and there's a beautiful old garden with a stone wall and a grapevine, which I can't wait to start cleaning up. There's an adorable little greenhouse that is just begging for new life, and there are 6 cabins on the property. Some of them are hidden in the woods, a mile hike from our house. So much history was left behind in these cabins, and they're all filled with different antique treasures to discover. We feel so lucky that this place found us, and we feel like it fits us like a glove. So follow along if you want to watch us renovate this old home and build our family homestead.
Now, again, I don't have the price details or anything like that, but What do y'all think? Would you live out in a place like this? Kind of like secluded off in the woods? Which, I mean, I would. Not for long, though. I think that'd be a good vacation spot because I got to have access to the city in some kind of way. So if this was like an hour from Atlanta or something like that, it'd be fine. But if it's like way, way, way like deep Eastern Kentucky or like way out West Virginia by the radio free zone or something like that, that's a little bit too far for me. I need it to be kind of close to amenities or something. Yeah, it can't be too far, but I like it. I like being able to have fruit trees and stuff like that. I would have animals out here I raise for sure. Have some cows, some chicken all day long. What about y'all? Or do you guys need like city, access to quick things? You got to go to your Starbucks in the morning. What do y'all think? And too many mosquitoes. Hey, you know what? Shout out to you, Muffin. It probably is a bunch of mosquitoes out there for sure. Yeah, and the mosquitoes don't play no games. But in Appalachia, it's not that bad though. It depends on where you at. If you're right by some water, it could be, but it's not really that bad. Like being at my grandma's house in West Virginia, it's not that bad. Up in the mountainous area. If you're in the swampy area, it's worse, in my opinion. Like if you're in the like Jamaica or something like this, yeah. But up there in the mountains in Appalachia, it ain't too bad, especially when they get cold. Hold on. Suze, I can't read your whole name, but Sue says, I lived in West Virginia for a while as a child and I loved it. West Virginia is great. West Virginia is fantastic. I love it. Whenever I go there, it's like I get recharged. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. But unfortunately, it's pros and cons. West Virginia, it's a great pace of life. It's inexpensive, but it's just not many amenities. Traveling is kind of hard because of the airport. It's a very small airport. I like being here because I like being in East Tennessee, in Appalachia. I'm not necessarily in the mountain. I'm in the valley. And the mountains are like right there for one of them. Atlanta's right there, hour and a half away. Nashville, 2.5. I have quick access to the big cities if I need it. So it's cool. Quick and easy access to the big cities. And where I live at has amenities. But if I was to be in the mountain, deep in Appalachia, you lose a lot of your amenities you would normally have. Now look, this house is in Echo Park, Los Angeles from 1923. That's when it was built. But obviously, it's been maintained throughout the years. I have the price on this. I'll show it to you at the end. I'll tell you at the beginning.
This is one of the smallest houses for sale right now in Los Angeles. 2232 Lakeshore Avenue is a 1-bed, 1-bath, 462 square foot home listed for sale right now for $729,000.
Did you guys hear that? Less than 500 square feet. 462 to be exact. For $729,000. 729. Listen, if you know about LA, Echo Park, is that a good place? Is this worth it for such a small location?
Tucked away in the hills of Elysian Heights, this 1923 cottage offers an abundance of character in a magical Echo Park setting. The home sits in an enclave of special and unique properties located in the heart of LA's vibrant East Side. There is a bonus space below the house that functions as a laundry room and an additional storage space. Located close to many of the area's best shops and restaurants such as Valerie, Cookbook, and Canyon Coffee. This is
so that's a no for me. That's a no for me. You guys saying it's not a good area. Somebody said hipster hood. Is that what it is? It's a hipster hood. And I'm doing my research. I'm doing my Googles, and it's like right there by downtown. I'm cool. I've been told enough to stay clear away from downtown. You probably got some of them ICE protests out there. I'm cool. Don't worry about it. I wish I would pay that much money for a 500 square foot little spot. Pardon me. And then right outside, I'm hearing free pilots. I wish I would hear that. Ain't no way. There is no way. But I know somebody, they probably live there right now, and they cool with the price. Now, this right here is assisted living. Okay, this bedroom costs about $5,000 a month. But of course, it's not just a bedroom. You know, you getting a lot more than the room, but still $5,000 a month. And I'm showing it to tell you just how much these kind of things can cost. If you get a little bit older and you need help moving around, you need care, you're gonna spend some money. I know it's a spot down the street from me. Shout out to my main man, Greg, who owns them. Greg Vital. Shout out to Greg Vital. Morning Point. They're up there. I've been to one of these spots to visit it and see somebody. I ain't gonna say nobody's name. And it was like that. It was expensive like that, but it was very nice. They come check on you all the time. You get meals. You're part of a community, but it is going to cost you.
I received a referral earlier this week regarding this individual wanting to move out of her assisted living. So I went down to do an assessment, and when I walked in this bedroom, I was disturbed when she told me how much she pays. She pays $4,993 a month for this private bedroom.
Yeah, it'll cost like that because, again, it ain't just for the room. Now, the room I saw was better than that. It was similar as far as it was small. Like, it'd be a bed. It'd be like a little sitting area with a TV. It's a small room. But the idea is to not be in the room most of the day. The idea is to be out in the community, doing activities, being in the day room, talking to people, just doing things, being, out. You can get your family come see you. I can go out and do things. You can leave. You could drive on your own because it's assisted living. It's not like it's not a nursing home. A nursing home is different. A nursing home, you kind of like, I've been in those, very depressing. A nursing home, you pretty much like locked up. And this, you're able to kind of have a car, go do things, go shopping. It's like an apartment, but you have help in your apartment with your everyday living. That's pretty much what it is. So yeah, shout out to assisted living. It's very expensive. You got nurses, you got all that kind of stuff 24/7 at to take care of you, to help take care of you. And a lot of times what they do to pay for that, they'll have a home and they'll sell their home and use what they get from selling the home to pay for the actual rent every month. That's pretty much what that is. $4,000 is too much. Hey man, hold on. Latina girl says, actually, that's reasonable. It's about $10,000 minimum out here in the Bay Area. Disgusting. Yeah. Senior living, it's a big, big bag of money. Big, that's a multi-billion-dollar industry if you didn't know. So speaking about assisted living, hospitals, nurses, how much do nurses make? And look, I was on my Instagram live and my cousin was on there. Shout out to you, Nikki, if you're watching. And Nikki's a nurse. And I was asking her, like, hey, is that a good career to get into, especially for young women? Because people were asking me, okay, what's a good career for women to get into? And I was saying nursing. I'm going to always stand by nursing because you're always going to need nurses. People get old every day. People get sick every day. And there's no AI robot that can take care of somebody when they're ill or help them get better. You got to physically do that with a human being, and nurses will always be in demand. You could be a travel nurse. You could do all kinds of things in the medical field. I mean, if I didn't have the plan to be self-employed, I'd be some kind of way in the medical field. If I can go back and think like, okay, if I don't want to be a designer, what would I be? Some kind of way in the medical field, a cardiologist, something. But anyway, how much nurses make? All right, so you have the low end, $30 an hour, up to $200,000 a year. Yes, a nurse can make $200,000 a year and more. Let's watch.
I'm an LPN, just graduated from LPN school.
Thank you.
How much do you make?
30 an hour.
I'm a nurse, an RPN. How much do you make in your role? About $30. I'm a NICU nurse. How much do you make? 35 and some change.
I'm a registered nurse. I make about $35 an hour without differentials.
I'm an ICU nurse. ICU nurse. How much do you make? $42 an hour.
I'm a nurse.
A nurse?
Yep.
How long have you been doing that?
Since 2008. I work in the neonatal intensive care unit.
Oh, she got money. I could tell off the rip she got some money. Since '08 and neonatal ICU, get ready for it.
With premature babies.
How much do you make in your
I
role?
make $43 an hour. Yep.
I thought it was gonna be more than that. That's still pretty nice.
Do you feel well compensated?
No, not enough.
Yeah. You need to move away from New York City. Go somewhere else because that's low. 43 an hour and the neonatal ICU, that's low.
Staff, but that's all the way around.
And you're based where?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Okay. But she was in New York, but she was in Tennessee. I'm about to say New York. Nah, Tennessee. Okay, I get it.
Registered nurse. I'm in my last semester to be a registered nurse. How much are you making in your role? Hourly about $43 an hour, so about $85,000 a year. And do you have a job yet, or are you working towards it? I'm working towards it, but hopefully around $41 an hour starting as a new grad.
I'm a travel nurse.
How much do you make?
I would say roughly around $90,000 to $100,000 a year. I think all nurses should get raises, no matter if you're staff or if you're travel nurses.
I'm a pediatric nurse practitioner.
How much do you make in your role?
Right around 100,000.
I'm an operating room nurse.
How much are you currently making in your role?
110, 120,000.
Nurse practitioner.
And how much do you make?
I make 120. I'm in Maryland.
I'm a travel nurse.
How much do you make?
Yearly, like 123,000.
Hey, the travel nurses that I know get money. They got money. Like out of all the women that I know, the ones that make the most money are travel nurses, and it's not even. It's not even close. It's not even close.
Travel nurse. How much are you making as a travel nurse in Philly?
Between like 130 to 140.
I am a registered nurse.
And how much do you make in your role?
So it kind of varies because it's a big like bonus opportunity.
Okay.
But anywhere from like 120 to 180 plus. I left bedside nursing a really long time ago. I'm actually doing nurse case management now.
Okay.
So it's completely different than like your average normal nurse.
I've been a nurse practitioner for 8 years, and before that I was a labor and delivery nurse for 6 years.
How much do you make?
Well, it varies. So my base salary is $144.
Okay.
And then with bonuses, I can make, so like last year I made over $200,000.
Wow.
The year before that was more like 180.
Yeah.
So usually bonuses can be anywhere from $20,000 to $100,000.
I'm a travel nurse. Travel nurse. How long have you been doing it? I've been a nurse for 4 years. I've been traveling for 2. How much do you make? So my salary fluctuates. Last year I made $150,000 and this year I should hit $240,000. Wow. Okay. So is that like largely based on travel?
In California.
What causes you to earn more? So when you're a travel nurse, you have 2 different types of income. You have an hourly rate, and then you get a stipend for living accommodations. Okay. So that's why you end up taking home so much.
I'm a nurse anesthetist.
How much do you make?
Last year I made $280.
Okay, 280. Yeah, RN. Like once you get to be an RN, it's like your gold standard. That's like a big accomplishment right there. And a lot of times, if you're going to be RN or something like that, you got to go to school. You got to do a program. And it'll take time, but not like being a doctor. It ain't like that. That's time. But you still got to go to school to actually become, like, you start like CNA, LPN, then you go to RN, then you could travel, you could stay, whatever you want to do. It's all on you.
And first, so I went to nursing school, and then I had to work in the ICU for at least a year.
Nice.
I worked there probably like 7, and then I went to anesthesia school.
Nice. And do you like what you do overall?
Yeah, I love it. Best decision ever.
There you go. So a nurse, anesthetist, $280 a year. $280 a year. So big salaries for being a nurse. I'm telling y'all, like I told y'all before, I said it on my Instagram live before, that being a nurse, definitely something that you should do if you're looking to get into a career. If you're young, especially, maybe even not so young, get into it. Definitely get into it. RN for real nurse. That's funny. You could say that. That's probably a joke that goes around, but registered nurse. Okay. CNA, certified nursing assistant. That's where a lot of people start. You could do that with no degree or nothing. If you're trying to get a job right now, you're young, you could be a CNA right now. Now, granted, you won't get paid that much, and it's going to be some rough work. Rough work. But you could do that and then get some education, become an RN eventually. And once you get that RN on your jacket, you good. You are good. Okay, so this guy is going to go food shopping and he's going to buy local Whole Foods and he's going to show how much everything costs. Okay. Let's go ahead and load this up right here. It's a high stress, but look, people say stuff like, oh, it's high stress, I don't want to do it. That's fine. Listen, it's not for everybody. That's why it pays like that. But if you want to make some money, you got to sacrifice something. Like me, when I wanted to do whatever I'm doing, it took sacrifice. It took a lot. I couldn't just snap my fingers and have a stress-free, effortless job and make a lot of money. That's not how it works in this world. I mean, I guess sometimes you could have that happen to you, but it's not necessarily common in the country, let alone the world. Definitely not the world. But here in this country, if you want to make some money, you want to be successful, it'll take hard work, sacrifice, blood, sweat, tears, stress, all of that. It'll take. The question is, do you want to make the sacrifices to get the kind of money you want to make? All right, let's check this out.
See how affordable it really is to buy local healthy foods. Pause for the prices. Starting off with 36 pasture-raised eggs. I am then grabbing a loaf of freshly baked sourdough bread. I am booking it over to my ranch/meat section.
Hold on. Let me go back to a little bit. So
starting off with 36 pasture-raised eggs.
So $1 for each egg, but I guess this is like local, like a farmer's market type situation, not a grocery store.
I am then grabbing a loaf of freshly baked sourdough bread. I am booking it over to my ranch/meat section. They have a crazy variety here. I'm just picking up some bone-in, skin-on chicken thighs. I am then...
That's high. I wouldn't pay that much.
Heading over to the berry section, and I am grabbing 2 packs of an assortment of local organic berries.
But look, these are expensive, but if you are living where this is and you want straight from the garden, straight from the farm, this is what you're going to get.
I'm quickly grabbing 2 onions and some carrots, and I'm finishing off at the farmer's market with a jar of some local grass-fed ghee. After that, I'm booking it over to my local health store to pick up some water. It's very affordable. I do this every single week. Back at the apartment, we have some grass-fed beef, and then we have some beef and bison blend. We also have 2 ribeyes. I brought these from Pennsylvania. A bunch of local produce, very affordable when you buy it individually. We've got some pickles, some locally grown California dates, some raw cheddar cheese, some ghee butter, and lastly, some raw Parmesan.
So all that was $250, $250. That's not bad for everything, especially to get a bunch of organic, local raised stuff. I showed him before, but he didn't show the farmer's market before that. But yeah, these were expensive at the farmer's market. Kind of. The chicken, I don't know. That might not be that bad. $32 for those packs. In the store, that might be about, for one pack, maybe about 10. So that's probably right around, right? Yeah, $32. But everything together was about $250, which is pretty good. Some people say, I can't eat from the store. I can't buy produce. It's too expensive. Not really. Because ask yourself this, okay, how much do you spend when you're looking at DoorDash, when you're looking at Starbucks, when you're looking at groceries, when you're looking at going out to eat? How much do you spend? Like, do you count all your money? Yeah, if I go to Chipotle and spend $20, I'm going to count that. Because check it out. The $20 I spent, I could have got how much? I could have got this chicken. If I can find it, hold on. The chicken right here, $32. For $12 more, I got probably enough chicken for maybe 5 meals, maybe right there. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about how you budget your money. That's the main thing. Now that ain't 1 week of food. If you can eat all of that in 1 week, by yourself, I don't understand. You could not eat all of that in 1 week, bro. Come on, you got chicken, beef, eggs, all of that. You cannot eat all that in 1 week by yourself. Now maybe if you got a family or something, maybe, but not by yourself. And if you do eat that much in the week, you're going to have a big back situation going on, for sure. For sure. Now, is that too much? That's too expensive? Could y'all buy that same assortment where you live for cheaper? If you can, even better. Even better. Yeah, I think people eat too much. People will eat Chipotle for lunch. They'll have breakfast. They'll go to Starbucks for breakfast and spend $20 off the rip. Then Chipotle, spend $20 more, and then they go home and eat some more. So the total cost of their food for the day is like $50 or more. That's too much money, in my humble opinion. But anyway, if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. I got super chats on deck, and then I'm going to get to the calls. The number to call is 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. Did I get that right? Yes, I did. All right, super chats. First, take it to the Workday Show 5013, who says, ABL, for the 4th of July, I like some fireworks with my son and friend, throw some burgers on the grill, and watch ice raid videos. America, right on. Hey, I love it, bro. I love it. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you to Lanita W82, who says, dude is the Indian version of Brandon Johnson. Thank you to R Black Pro 7 for the donation. I appreciate you. R Black Pro also says, keep up the great work, ABL. This is from Sapphire P. Shout out to you. Thank you to Ron Henderson, who says, remove the anchors off our babies, for sure. Thank you to Effie Ranger, who says, remember who used the term replacement first. Thank you to Ron Henderson again, who says, have a good background check. Criminals are everywhere. Have you checked our cameras lately? Exactly. Listen, criminals everywhere. I don't want them to be in the workplace with me if I can avoid it, if I can prevent it. Thank you to Laura Catherine for thumbs up emoji. I appreciate you for that. Thank you to Ron Henderson, who says, remove food dyes so we won't die. Remove food dyes so we won't die. Exactly. Thank you to Muffin Network. Shout out to you for joining. All right. Shout out to Ron Henderson, who says, black on black in words is the only way you get it. And I don't give you heart disease. Exactly. Thank you to Ron Henderson, who says they'll be on the knees in New York. Yeah, with that, the praying and all that kind of good stuff. Thank you to Rebel Without a Reason, who says over 100,000 people displaced in China due to catastrophic flooding and what's being called an over 50-year flood. Yeah, I saw some of that flooding. I don't know. I'm thinking it's because of overdevelopment, because there's so many humans in China. It's just too many of them. And you put a development up. I was looking at one development in China. It was this humongous like town center. And it said there were 500,000 residents right there. I got to find that video, matter of fact, and show it to you. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, if it rains right there and it flood, like it could flood very easily because it's just so much concrete and nowhere to actually drain. So I'm just sitting, I'm just thinking, like, how can this actually be? Okay, here it is. This is what I wanted to show you guys. So look, visit China's largest concrete forest apartment where 500,000 people live. All right, so look, I'm going to show you this with the sound off, and you're able to see just how big this is. All of these are buildings. All these are apartment buildings. People live in this place. Rows and rows and rows of these tall apartment buildings. And you see, it's just concrete everywhere. It's a little bit of grass patch, but it's concrete for the most part, and very tall concrete apartments. So I'm thinking, okay, fire risk, flood risk, all of that. And look, you can see if it rains, okay, you got concrete on concrete on concrete and levels of concrete. Where is it going to drain out? What, down there, down to some more concrete? There's some drains in front of these shops, but if you get a really torrential downpour, the drains will be overwhelmed. So how do you really, it's just too many humans in China. That's all. And they're like in cities bunched up. They're not really spread out. They're all bunched up. Shanghai, In one city, 40 million people. 40 million people in one city, Shanghai, Beijing, all of that. Yes, these are apartments. If you didn't, these are apartments in China. Concrete. 500,000 residents living in this particular square. So when you're talking about the flooding, the 50-year floods, I'm not surprised. Overdevelopment probably. It's going to happen. Because imagine if a big flood hits this place, you see it's just concrete everywhere. Not much grass to be seen. Where's water go? With a flat surface like that, it'll go right into the actual buildings. And you see how tall everything is? I couldn't do it. It's just too much for me. You know, I like being close to a city, but not like that. Not like that. All right. Let's keep on going here. Thank you to It's Lanita who says, saw Irv Gotti making spaghetti with spaghetti sauce sugar. Well, you see what happened to Irv Gotti? You know what I mean? He did. His brother said that he was eating Chinese food right when he died. And the thing about the Chinese food you get from the little corner store, the hood store, it has zero nutrition. So it might taste good to you, but you're not feeding your body nutrition. You're just feeding your body carbohydrates, maybe, and that's pretty much it. A little bit of protein from the chicken, potentially, if you get real chicken. If not, more carbohydrates, soybean. Think of I can't pronounce your name. I'm going to call you SP for short. How about that? Who says, ABL, I was wondering if you saw the recent YouTube video of a mother teaching her son not to get a job. She told him to get a Section 8 and live off the government. It was a real video. It's going viral. God bless my friend. I think I did see that. I'm going to show it to you guys right quick. I might do a video on that. Let me see if I can find it right quick. And if you guys like what you're hearing so far, y'all know what to do. Please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay, let me see if I can find that one. I saw it somewhere. I don't know where it is. But it was about if you get the apartment, if you work, then it's going to be a problem. Oh, here we go. Here it is. I found it. Now, I thought I might have been a skit, so I didn't do a video on it. But I might do it and then lead with the fact that it might be a skit. Yeah, I see videos sometimes that go viral that I think are skits, and I don't touch them. But let's just watch some of this. And again, this could be a skit, but it might not be. And if it is a skit, it doesn't really matter because this kind of thing does happen. I showed the video of the woman talking about the lady got a house from Section 8 and she was scamming the system the whole time. Let's watch some of this.
Getting no job. If you go get a job, they're going to take my Section 8. Then you won't be able to get no Section 8. You're not going to get no job. They're going to count your income against my Section 8 and my link card. You're not working. No. So I don't care what you got to say. I don't care how you feel. You're not working. You're not going to get a job. You're not going to school. You're not doing none of that shit.
But Ma, I'm saying how I'm supposed to be successful in life, Ma. So you basically telling me I gotta be broke to be successful. I gotta be broke so I can get Section 8.
You gotta be
so
broke so the government can help you.
So the government can help me. So you telling me I can't work no job, bro? Like that's like all my friends got jobs and live in nice houses. So you telling me I got to go through the same thing you went through?
If you don't do any of that, they're going to take my Section 8.
How?
And I'm
won't they
trying
be
to tell
like?
you
Won't
that
they
you
be?
can go get yours at ease. You can go get a
They will.
nice house.
No, they will look at that and be like, he's doing something and give me a bigger house, Ma. That's what you told me.
Where I'm gonna go?
I
I don't have no job.
I can get off your Section 8 and apply for my own Section 8.
But if you do that, you're gonna have to go the hard way. It's gonna take long.
So what? That's what I'm
Wait
saying.
a few months, get on Section 8, find you a nice apartment, go get you a link card. You will be fine. You don't have to sit up and work. You don't have to work no job. The government is here to help us.
Yeah, I gotta do a video on that one. That right there. Okay, see, this is what I'm talking about. That right there is what I'm talking about. The government incentivizes people to just not work, to be lazy, to sit in the bed at 2 p.m. doing nothing. That's what it does. And they say, okay, you Americans don't want to work, but you guys got to stop incentivizing it. If you did not have all these programs, all these safety nets for people, then they cannot utilize them. If you're able-bodied like she is, and you're just pretty much chilling, you should not be able to be on these programs. You got to get off of it. You got to go work. You got to go work. It is what it is. And if you poor, you can afford to have certain things. Well, look, become more educated. Your kids need to be better than you are. If you have a rough background, low education, whatever, you still can get out there and work and do something. Even if it's like a menial job, not a lot of money, you still can do it. The migrants do it. The migrants don't got no problem somehow doing it and having a house to live in and all of that in America, working those jobs. Why can't we do it? And then you want to pass that to your son saying, well, you just do nothing and have the government, quote unquote, help you. He's like, look, I'm not trying to be a loser like you. I'm trying to go out here and get this money. So what needs to happen is he move away from her and just do his own thing. He sounds like about to be adult age, maybe like late high school, something like this, 17, 18, 19. Go ahead and leave, bro. Because if you stay there listening to that, you're going to be a loser forever. And you're going to be in the bed like her at 2 p.m. doing nothing. So, yeah, nah. If that's real, that was totally terrible. It hurt my heart to see it. But there's people that live like that. There's generations of them in one building. It'd be one project building. It'd be the grandma, the mama, and the 18-year-old son, all losers, all doing nothing. Or even worse, it'd be a daughter that's 18 years old, pregnant with a baby, going straight to the government talking about, can I get a link card? Can I get this? Can I get that? Handout. Doing nothing to actually work for it. And I don't care what color you are. It could be black, white, whatever. I don't care about no slavery in the background. I don't care about nothing. At the end of the day, we're here now. You have the opportunity. Go out there and get it. And if you don't, you're just a bum or a loser. And I don't want to hear your sob story. Anyway, hey, I'm triggered. But if you like what you're hearing so far, y'all know what to do. Let me get to the calls. I know I'm late. It's my fault. It ain't my fault. Blame the white man. Anyway, let's get to it. The number to call, 706-406-3287. Again, 706-406-3287. That hurt my heart right there. I saw that, and I'm in my mind, I'm like, it's got to be a skit. I hope and pray that was a skit, because if it wasn't, my goodness. 559 on the line. What's speaker to?
ABL, Patrick from California. How's it going?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Hey, man. I'm wondering why that lady isn't in jail.
Which one?
The Section 8 video that you just played. And I'm wondering why people like them aren't under any sort of investigative scrutiny and aren't going to jail.
Because the government in that particular area, they allow it. That's the problem. They allow it to go on because you have to understand, that someone can work, that they're able-bodied. They're just not doing anything. And the government, they don't really care. They incentivize them to just do nothing. That's why there's no penalty, because they're cool with it, unfortunately.
Wow. That's very frustrating. So if you take that away, then do you think that it will increase the incentive for them to work, or do you think that they will just be like adding to the homeless population that we have? And I'm looking at this from the outside as an objective perspective.
Well, it'd be a combination of both. I mean, some have been doing this for so long that you take it away from them, they don't know what to do. So it's just like she's telling her son to not work. She probably was told the same thing. Don't work and they'll take care of you. So if you grow up like that and you live like that and you're 40 years old, it's hard for you to transition to something else because you've always done nothing. You're in the bed 2 p.m. chilling. How are you going to go out there and work? Like your mind is not even really focused on that. So You got to do it at a certain point. There may be some temporary pain. There might be a little bit of homelessness, perhaps, and a crime uptick, perhaps. But you got to do it because if you don't, you'll never be able to stop.
Right. I agree with you, ABL, 100% completely on that, and I think it needs to happen. I think, though, that we need to prioritize our disabled and our veterans and get these people off. But anyway, with that, ABL, I appreciate your time so much. Thank you for letting me speak my 2 cents. God bless you, sir, as always, and God bless the United States of America. Take care.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate it. All right, great call. But yeah, you got to just put a stop to it at a certain point. It has to come to an end. 860, you don't lie. How much speaker to?
Hey, Anthony, how you doing? It's F&A Ranger Xbox. How you doing, brother?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Oh, I was just thinking all my aunts and uncles in Indiana are all farmers. All of them. I grew up planting, harvesting, stacking hay. Oh, man. Grew up doing all that shit in the summertime. I was free labor to all my aunts and uncles. I was a city boy, but I had to go out every summer, every spring, and every fall. My dad was a baby. There was 8 brothers and sisters, so there was a lot of farms out there. How you doing?
Hey, it's all good.
Right. I'm gonna let you go, Anthony. I mean, it's a crazy world we got going on right now, but I'll tell you what, y'all want to have a Islamic country, y'all need to go vacation in Islamic country. See what it's about. You'll find out why nobody goes on vacations to Islamic countries unless they're Muslim. Y'all go see for yourself. That's all I'm going to say. I'll close with that, Anthony. God bless you. God bless America. Let's take our country back. We're on the way. Bye-bye.
All right. Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. Let's go to 734 to line. How much speaker to?
Hi, it's Taisha from Michigan. So yes, my comment is regarding that Section 8 video, I actually seen a response back from the lady, and she was sitting in her bed looking like EBT queen as she was when she was sitting in her bed from the first video. She was like, I don't care what you guys say about me. That's what they're here for. So she wasn't even remorseful. She was very much had that same attitude, and she really believes it. And it's just a really disgusting mindset that really goes in after generation after generation. And hopefully that young man really breaks the cycle, because it sounds like he wants to. He's looking around at his peers and saying that their life is so much better, and he wants more than what his mom is giving him. So yeah, I definitely seen a part 2 to that video. I don't think it was a skit, but it's definitely a chance that it could be. And then my second comment was regarding the mayor from New York City that's running. New York City will be done for. Rent freeze, free groceries. It's just crazy. And $30 an hour minimum wage. I can't even see how people voted for him. And the majority of people that did vote for him is not even working class people. Working class people can see this scam. And then I don't even know if this was real, but 50 Cent offer him $250K to drop out of the race.
Yeah, I saw that. That was a real post from 50 Cent. Now, I don't know if he was just being, if he was just joking, if he was serious, but people don't like that. 50 Cent put it out there. He didn't like that. And I saw an article that said a bunch of rich people were already talking about leaving New York if he got an office. And then if the rich people leave, well, okay, you got city services. Who's paying for that? They're the ones paying all the taxes, or at least the bulk of it. So who's paying for all these things you want to implement, these promises? You're not going to be able to get it funded. So, yeah, this guy's terrible.
Yeah, he is definitely just terrible. I just cannot believe that he is even a candidate for the race for New York. It's just even Mayor Adams. You see, Mayor Adams may feel a little bit more confident in the next race. So, yeah, that was just my comment for tonight.
Well, thank you for your call. Definitely appreciate you.
Have a good night.
All right, great call. But yeah, that welfare video, I'm gonna find that second one, and I might do a response to it, but with the preface that it could be a skit, because nowadays a lot of these videos like that seem kind of like over the top. It's just people doing skits. It's not real at all, and I gotta be very careful about that. So if I talk about it, I have to just lead with that. Who am I speaking to on the line? 617?
Hey, ABL, it's Jenna in West Virginia. I actually came in and caught you a little bit late, and I caught you talking about the migrants and the laborers and the work that they're talking about. And I just wanted to get your opinion on this because obviously we're not El Salvador, thank goodness, although it is nice this time of year apparently. However, have you ever heard of Plan Zero Leisure that they have for their prison system?
No.
So CCOT, like you're never getting out and they're not part of it, but they have lower level prison systems. So think, for example, maybe like tax evasion, things like that, lower level criminals like that. And they have this thing called Plan Zero Leisure. So it's aimed at self-sustainability for the country, but it's also made to like integrate people back into society, give them life skills. So there's everything from like carpentry, stonemasonry. They have an entire textile mill where all of the prisoners work to make all of the uniforms for school children, for hospital gowns, for the police officers, et cetera, et cetera. And for every day that they work, they get 2 days taken off of their sentence. But they also learn trades and they do things like road repairs, so they don't have to pay like public works. I was wondering what your opinion would be on that, especially because agricultural work is a big focus of it for them. Like they plant all of their own stuff, they harvest it, they learn how to tend to farm animals, and they feed the entire prison system. Do you think something like that could work in the United States? And I will let you go because I know you have other calls, but I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you. I think it's a good idea for sure to have inmates produce food for the prison. In the prison, like, okay, you can produce fresh things, tend to animals maybe. I think it's a great thing. And that gives them some skills because a lot of these people come to prison and they have no skill. So if you're able to go there and learn that, why not? And you're working, so your time is occupied, you're learning something. It makes sense to me. I say, why not? And in other parts of the country, well, in the USA, there's some programs where you can develop skills. I know in California, they got these guys doing firefighting, which is a good thing because you could go out and become a firefighter, a professional one. And do y'all know that 70% of firefighters in the USA are not paid? They're volunteer. Fun fact, but you could be professional and do that for a career once you get out. It depends on what you did and it depends on where you are because in certain parts of the country, if you got a bad felony on your record, you can't, but in other parts of the country, it might not be that bad. So I think it's a great thing for sure. Give them a skill, give them something to do. Why not? 843, you don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony, this is Tyler.
All right, man. What's going on?
Hey, buddy. Glad to see you made it back from your big LA trip in one piece.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah, I stayed in the pocket. I didn't go off the reservation because I know it can get kind of weird real quick if you take a wrong turn.
Man, you picked a heck of a time to go out there. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. I didn't go anywhere near any of the ICE protests, all that downtown LA stuff. I ain't go nowhere near that.
Right. Hey, since the last time we talked about that, and I encourage you to go out there, a lot's happened, and it feels like Jasmine Crockett has went down for good, possibly, and your man Bowman. What do you think about your man Bowman? Do you think he believes any of that? Is he real with that, or do you think he's just that pathetic? He might be.
I believe he believes it. I think he really does, and that just kind of points to him not really being all the way there as far as the competence. Somebody like that shouldn't be in office. That's why he's not in office, in my humble opinion.
Yeah. Jasmine, I know she's cosplaying as a baddie. She wants to be a baddie so bad, but she's just got some confidence issues, I think. She's wanting to, just bite too hard.
That's right.
But, yeah, just thought it's just been win after win. I was a little trepidatious about the Iran situation. I think we all were, it's just natural. But I think maybe that looks like that's going to work out for now. And just feels good to be winning, win after win. Like Trump said, we're going to get tired of winning with the stock market. And I just checked my 401k. I don't know about y'all out there, but looking pretty good. So,
right on.
But you have a good night and continue to do the good work, my man.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
All right, Anthony.
All right, great call. Shout out to Tyler. Oh, I got Steve. Had to sneeze. It was like right there. Didn't when they come out. I was like, all right, now come on, let's go ahead and sneeze here. But shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling with me. Hold on. No excuse lifestyle. Rocky Cage says, "What's up, ABL? One of my former neighbors is a nurse that, as far as I know, makes $140,000 a year. And Section 8 mama is obviously a loser mentality. Sounds like the son wants break from the loser cycle. Salute to you, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, I think you're right about the loser mentality. That's definitely very present. I'm like, all right, now, come on. All right, now, 310, you're line. I'm speaking to.
This is Ron from Georgia. How you doing, ABL?
I'm doing well. About yourself?
Oh man, I can't call it too tough. I tell you, I'm not tired of winning. I'm not tired of winning. We need to win all we can get. You know, I'm telling you. I love the way the Supreme Court is putting down these edicts, getting things straight, getting these judges' minds straight, where they can't just go ahead and unilaterally tell the president across the nation that he can't do this, can't do that. But, things are looking up in that sense. And I like the fact that DeSantis is talking about bringing Croc City out there to hold the detention center. I think that's a good idea. They need to continue to get super Crocs out there. You know, we need more of those places out there to to house people. You know, just before we ship them on out. You know, and while they're there, get their minds right. You know, and I tell you, people are crying about the way Trump is wanting to deport people and enter the birthright. These anchor babies. Hey, they got options. They still can use the app to get to deport themselves and come back the correct way. You know, I think it's ridiculous that people could be here for 20 years and still can't speak English. Come on now. I mean, this is America. You had 20 years to learn. You got 20 years to do this. I think they should even eliminate the fact that, our ballots and everything like that should be English only. You know what I'm saying? Why do we have to continue to cater for every nationality and put down every bit of language on our documents? You know how much paper that's burning? You know how much paper we're wasting right there? How many trees we cut down catering to the tree huggers? No. I think we need to change that too. But we're doing better. I tell you that if the American people would really get their minds straight, and like I said, build these jobs. I think it's ridiculous that the guy was talking about it takes 4 days for the white boys to do a project that the Hispanics used to do in 1 day. That has something to do with work ethics. If they get off the phone and swing that hammer, they get the job done. And it's up to him as the foreman of the crew to keep those guys swinging that hammer. Come on now, tote that bell. Make that money. Pay them well, and they got to do the work. It's not about what you're not just getting paid. You got to work for it. Anything worth having takes some sweat, and I tell you that we can do it. We just got to put down the sweat. But we just got to do better in our country. And I tell you, the politicians, they can cry all they want. And I tell you, the Democrat Party is seeing type of party they're starting to become as they go ahead and continue to get the socialist, communist agenda, putting it across. Look at New York. Come on now, they better get it together. I mean, they're already thinking bad right there. I mean, they want worse. How bad do you want it? They haven't got sick enough yet. But America is seeing the difference. And I know we can make a difference, and we just continue to push forward, continue to pray for our country and our president, and, keep on winning. We're a great country. We got great people in it, but you know what? We just got to stand up for the right and do what's right. But I love you, my brother. I'm just enjoying myself with my grandson. It got a few more weeks to go of torture, but but I love it. I love it. I love it because he's a funny guy. But anyway, God bless you, my brother. You just take care of yourself, man. I'm glad you survived California.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you. All right.
All right, you too. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to grandson if you're watching. Definitely. And shout out to you guys for rocking and rolling with me. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff that helped me out tremendously. Let's go to 740. You're online. Who am I speaking to?
It's Jeff, ABL. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Man, are you going to tell me that you have a cousin, Nikki, who's a nurse, and you were talking to her on Instagram more about her salary than her female coworkers that might be single?
Hey, I won't trying to do nothing like that because, hey, that ain't my business.
You know you need a wife, ABL, to have these kids. Come on, cousin Nikki, your cousin needs some help. Don't listen to him.
Well, here's the thing, though. She's in California, so I don't know if I want them in California.
Hey, man, at this point, you might as well give one of them a chance. I'm telling you. Cousin Nikki, we need some help. Look at your handsome cousin here that's looking for a wife. Listen, we need him a date by the 4th of July. Cousin Nikki, I'm appealing to you personally.
Hey, if she hears you, she might call me, so we'll see.
All right. Hey, man, I'm going to get off here, so you have a good evening.
Thanks for the call. Appreciate it.
Bye, man.
All right. Shout out to the caller. And shout out Nikki. All right. That's like my sister for real. I used to live in the same house with Nikki many times, like in the summertime. And then when my dad had this big, crazy house, that was a story. I got to tell that story about that big house he had. That was a time back in the day. All right. Unknown caller. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, Anthony Brian Logan. Great show as usual.
All right. Thank you. I
Hey
appreciate
there?
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get up on the table. Yeah, so basically, I'll wait outside for a few minutes, okay? I'm going, okay, so check this out. I'm at a club. I was at this club, and these girls, they started yelling, I'm going to kill you, get out of here, you can't stand here. I'm thinking, what is this, 1922? Or maybe they're not talking to me. So I look behind my shoulder, I look over behind my back, and they said, no, not behind your back, I'm talking to you, mother, whatever. I'm like, why? So then, long story short, I'm thinking, I noticed a pattern here. Every time there's good music, and it's around this time of the year, this day, this month, and they say the pride comes before the fall, some girls get so jealous, it's either like there's 3 S's, no, I'll just say 2, jealous or envious. And so I went to the manager of the club, and I said, look, here's what happened last time. I was being threatened with death from girls who are probably jealous of me because I've done nothing to them. So the girl who's like manager/bouncer goes, well, I don't know what you did. I'm like, well, why are you assuming that I did something negative? Why? She goes, well, it's their space. It's their safe space. I go, well, safe versus what? Danger? What makes you think I'm the danger? That's quite prejudice. I mean, people of color fought to get rid of discrimination. They fought to get rid of or try and get rid of prejudice, and you're assuming that I'm a danger based upon what? She goes, well, it's their space. It's only for them. I said, that sounds like discrimination. Are you trying to aim for slavery part 2? I said, the generation that fought for freedom and liberty, like the demographics that call into the ABL live show, we hate injustice. And injustice will be around, I understand, but we still don't like it. And we voice our opinion. We like sensibility. We love to learn, sharpen our sword against sharper swords than our own so we can become sharper. On the Anthony Brian Live show, Anthony Brian Logan live show. And she said, well, it's their territory. I said, well, there's no such a thing. I said, I hear a lot of hypocrisy from this side, from the left-wingness. I said, I'm not prejudiced. I'm not a left-winger, but I came to hear music. I love music. And I was kind of sad. I want to hear some music. And that's the way I'm treated? So I went back today to see if I can get the club to just hear some of the music. And she bounced out, and she says, no, don't let him in here. And I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to talk straight, but no pun intended. But a lot of the certain types, they say that they're there for equity. They say they're what? They're lovers of. They're just hypocrites. They're always. Why is it getting into my drink? They're always saying that they're just like us, and they're not looking for. How do I put this, man?
All right, hold on. Before you got to land your plane. Land your plane, boss.
A lot of turbulence out here, especially in these parts, because this is experimental town where they try all their dirty stuff before
land your plane,
you guys
boss.
end up seeing it down there.
Land it.
So basically, a lot of it's not all of them, but there's a certain agenda to hate males, especially if you look good, and they think that the girls it's kind of weird because they don't like men, but they were trying to be a man. Try to make that make sense. They don't make any sense. And they're haters. They don't make any sense. It's like a reprobate mind, as the Bible mentions. And it's really annoying that I can't even go listen to music and have fun in peace without being discriminated against by those who claim that they're here to get rid of oppression. I don't know if those buzzwords and slogans have gotten to your part of town yet, but like I said, I'm in the cooking room where all this stuff starts.
Okay.
According to the United Nations and all that stuff.
All right.
There's a lot of homosexuals.
I got you, my man. Thank you for your call, man. Definitely appreciate you. Thank you.
All right.
Okie dokie. Hey, that plane was circling. I was like, I used to go ahead and just land that right on the runway. Land that. You know what I mean? Let everybody deplane. Because right now, I'm just sitting there like, I got my back on my chest, like, all right, are we gonna land anytime soon? What's really going on? But nah, bro, clubs, they could do whatever they want to do, man. Like, I back in my day, and I tried to go to the clubs. They look at you, nope. What you gonna do about it? Nothing. And look, if you're not wanted in the place, why try to beg them to get in? Just like when I was in LA. Look, when I was in LA, I got ignored in the store. Did I tell y'all that? I said it on my Instagram live, but when I was in LA, I went to the Viore store, and I got ignored. I'm not going to sit there and cry about it. Okay, next store, if you don't want the money, that's fine. I go over here. That's it. I'm not going to make this whole big thing like, oh, they didn't want to serve me. So what? Just let me go to the next. If you feel like you don't want to serve me, whatever, tell me from the beginning. Straight away, let me figure it out. Okay. Now I'm going to go over there. If you don't want my cash, you're not going to get it. 504 online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, it's Sergeant Mode. What's going on, brother?
It's all good, man. What's happening?
Man, I can't call it, man. Just chilling, laid back. As one of the black guy from the J6 thingamajig, allegedly. So, hey, shout out to all of the fellow patriots that was at a certain place on a certain day that listen to ABL. Shout out to y'all. I seen all your videos out to them, man. Love your stuff. Love your videos. Again, glad you made it back from LA safely as well. The last caller, you was telling to land his plane. He was talking about with women. I think he was more so speaking of the alphabet community because myself, former Marine, former cop from South Memphis, from the streets of South Memphis. Now I own a funeral service here in Denver, Colorado, in the state of Colorado, and a gun store, part-owner gun store. So I took my daughter, my 4-year-old, we left her golf practice. She has golf on Wednesday. So we left golf the other day. Stopped at a certain pet store. I go in the store. I spent about an hour. My daughter loves fish. We have a beautiful tank set up, filled with glowfish that, of course, under the black light at night, it makes the living room glow. I mean, the fish are purple, green, yellow. Make a long story short, stopped at the fish at the pet store to get some fish. And so after spending an hour there with my 4-year-old, we picked out what we wanted. We get to the register. The young lady that's there, and mind you, it was Wednesday, and so I had just so happened I had on. And I didn't notice it until after the argument. I got to my vehicle. I noticed I had on my gold Trump shoes. Had on some some blue khaki pants with American flag printed on it, and I had a what we call a marine green T-shirt on. It said "Grumpy Old Veteran" on it. So as I'm trying to buy the fish, the young lady that's checking me out, of course, I can sense she has a little bit of an attitude, and I'm like, "What's wrong?" You know, I'm patronizing the store. I come here a lot. I have a rewards program. I'm a member of the rewards program. I spend money here. Why am I being, treated all snap? She was snappy-ish. And so she kept asking me, well, are you going to put this fish in the tank with other fish? And I'm like, ma'am, just ring me up. Like, what's going on in my home, in my tank is none of your concern. And so she asked me about 4 or 5 times. I'm like, ma'am, could you please just ring this trash up? And so she's like, well, I don't see what the problem is. I'm like, I've asked you 5 times, 6 times to ring me up. You started asking me, I'm being interrogated. Why am I being interrogated? It doesn't matter. I said, if I don't wanted to buy these fish, go home and cook them and eat them, it doesn't matter. It's not your concern. So the manager comes over and she's like, well, I don't feel safe. I don't think these fish are going to a safe home, and I don't feel comfortable selling them. So then the manager starts to help me. As the young lady's walking off, she's telling me about the conversation. I'm like, ma'am, you're telling me something totally different from the young lady that just helped me for an hour told me. And now all of a sudden you're interrogating me. Just ring me up. I've dealt with my issues for an hour with the young lady that was helping me. So then the manager gets there, and she's like, well, she's walking off. I'm like, but she's still talking. And so out of the blue, some member of the LGBTQ community and her girlfriend, she says, yeah, man, just shut up and just go ahead and go. And so I turn around and I'm like, excuse me, are you talking to me? Yeah, I'm talking to you. I feel sorry for your daughter. I said,
oh, no.
I said, man. I said, well, I feel sorry for you because you obviously are still suffering from a mental illness because you don't understand that you're a woman and you just kissed another woman in the mouth. Oh, she got upset. And, well, at least when I put on, I said, oh, here we go with this. And I'm like, so you're going to say you feel sorry for my child? First of all, ma'am, you jumped into a conversation that had nothing to do with you. You just walked up. But you saw my shoes. Because right before I said this, she pointed to my shoes, and she was like, what does your shirt say? Yeah, grumpy old veteran. Yeah, I see you got on some Trump sneakers. I'm like, oh, okay, now I see where all of this came from. Because I have on the Trump shoes. Because usually when I come in the store, I certainly don't have on these shoes. I may have on a black Make America Great Again hat, or if not, it's a Marine hat. But those shoes are so triggering. And shout out to the other caller, like he said, man, I'm just excited that we keep winning and winning and winning and winning. ABL, man, thank you so much for what you do. Thank you so much, man. You just don't know the difference that you're making out here in these here streets, as we say, man. But thank you for what you do, man. Keep your head up. Stay motivated, man. Stay hydrated. And keep eating healthy, man. We want you to stay around for years and years and years and years to come. So, again, man, thank you so much. Like you said, and one last thing, and I'll let you go. You're so correct on what you said about the health. I suffered my 11th heart attack on May 18th.
Wait. 11th heart attack?
Yes, sir. Yes,
hey, man,
sir.
hey,
Yes.
God, before you continue, God got a plan for you because...
yes, sir. I know that.
Yeah. But go ahead.
Yes, sir. You're correct. He definitely has a plan for me, man. I'm a former pastor, former cop, former Marine, man. I've served my community. I've served in so many capacities. I had heart attack number 8, Friday, December 13th. I went into the hospital, had a 10-hour open heart surgery on December 17th. They lost me on the table, brought me back. As soon as they put me back in my room at the VA hospital here in Denver, I had heart attack 9 and 10. I was discharged from the hospital the day before Christmas. They, upon discharging me, notified me, hey, we just also found another blood clot on your heart. So I was dealing with that, and then had number 11 on the 18th of May, man. So I understand God certainly has great things for me. But keep preaching what you're preaching, brother, because you sometimes, I mean, I'm going after this. Sometimes you have to stay, you have to show you can't let them see you sweat. And you do a great job not letting them see you sweat. But sometimes you kind of sweating behind the scene. I just want to encourage you, brother. Hey, man, hang in there. Continue on the course you're on, man, and you're going to go do a whole lot more great things in this world, not just on this platform, but in this world, brother. So we love you. Thanks for what you do, brother. Hey, long live King Trump, man. Take care, brother.
Thanks for the call, man. Appreciate you. Wow. That was a great call. I'm going to go ahead and end it right there. Great way to end the show. Shout out to you guys for rocking and rolling with me. I appreciate y'all for joining. Y'all know I'm here live every Wednesday and Saturday on the YouTubes. I'm also live on Tuesday on Instagram. So if you have Instagram, you want to follow me there, check that live stream out. I'm live every Tuesday on Instagram, every Wednesday and Saturday right here on YouTube. Same bat time, same bat place. 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Great show tonight. You guys are fantastic. You made it great. Thank you to everybody for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you do. I could not do this show without you. Thank you to the mods for keeping the controls in check. I appreciate y'all for that as well. This is an audio podcast you're listening to right now. It'll be available on your favorite audio streaming platform, whether it be Google Play, Spotify, Apple iTunes, etc. Link for that will be in the description. Or go to favorite audio streaming platform and search ABL Live. I should pop right on up. What else we got? I'm also on Rumble. If you want to see these YouTube videos on an alternative platform, I am on Rumble. Check me out there. I'm verified, easy to find. Also, follow me on every social media platform. My Instagram, my Facebook, my Twitter, never going to call it X, my TikTok. I'm on all the platforms. Follow me there. Shout out to the Facebook and Instagram crowd, especially. You guys are a really big community over there. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling with me. I have some super chats right here. I'll read those right quick. Then I'll wrap it on up and put the bow clean on top. Thank you to Lanita, who says travel RNs during COVID were making $10,000 a week. Yeah, they were getting money during COVID for sure. Big money. My cousin, who I referred to earlier, she worked during COVID and she was getting it. She was definitely doing a lot. So shout out to Nikki and shout out to you. Thank you to Michael Critchlow, who says that new Slick Rick album hits. Okay, I'm gonna check it out. All right. I put on that Kanye. I like Kanye. That's what I'm listening to right now. Kanye is so creative with his music. That's what I'm on right now. And I'm playing the video game because I don't got too much time. I'm going to try to play it. Death Stranding 2. If you like gaming, play that. You're not going to regret it. If I have time to play it, it came out, what was that, this week? I've not had much time at all. But shout out to No Excuse Lifestyle, Rocky Cage, 4159, who says that guy who said being called the N-word causes diabetes is very laughable and it makes black men look weak. That video reminds me of the woman from years ago that said diets are racist, LOL, salute. Yeah, I remember that. That was crazy. Because for black women, the diet don't work the same. It's like, man, that whole thing about race is so stupid. At the end of the day, you're not going to see these morbidly obese people in a place like Nigeria. You're not going to see it. So I don't care nothing about your listen, the reason why you weigh 1,000 pounds is because you had enough calories to make yourself be that much. You're at a caloric surplus. You're eating more calories than you consume, many more you consume. You eating 10, 20,000 calories in a day, and you sitting on you pretty much like that lady in the bed the whole time, sitting there eating Cheetos and whatnot, getting crumbs in the bed. That's why you weigh so much. And a lot of times when you see them shows, My 10,000 Pound Life, whatever that is, they be right in the bed with a server tray. I saw the lady, she had a server tray full of food for breakfast, for the first meal, for the first feeding of the day. If you get fed like a hog in a trough, you're going to be big like that. The big backness comes from your food, your caloric intake. If you want to lose weight, the easiest way is to be at a caloric deficit. That's the easy way. Or how about this? Don't eat for a few days. If you 1,000 pounds, you can go a few days without eating. You'll be all right. You ain't going to die because your body got enough stored in it already. It's like a camel with a hump on the back. The hump is for, it's like a squirrel storing nuts for the winter. You already got the food right there. The camel already got the food in the hump. You don't really need more if you already got it. You'll be all right. You ain't going to die. But anyway, shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all for rocking and rolling. I'll be back live on Tuesday on Instagram, live here on Wednesday and Saturday. And also, we don't put I didn't put out a lot of pre-recorded, like full 10-minute videos this week, but I'll start back on that on Monday. And I'm still putting out the shorts. The shorts are doing very, very well. You guys are liking them a lot. I'm going to do a lot more shorts because that's what everybody wants nowadays. The videos that I normally produce, I'll still do those, but the shorts, I'll do a lot more of those as well. Shout out to Monique, the best editor in the world. Hey, the one that we just put out about the Jamaican lady, that was a good one. And there was some good references in there that a lot of the Caribbean folks, they really felt. So yeah, shout out to Monique. Shout out to you guys for watching. And that will be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out. And peace.